Hey, hi everybody. Thank you for coming over here. I hope you caught Cher's broadcast a few minutes ago. And Cher's awesome and she'll be here in a little while. Tonight I have Rabid Dog as my first guest. I'm hoping everyone's gonna hop up here shortly. I'm gonna paste the link again to be on panel. How are you, Rabid Dog? Oh, can you guys hear me?
I'm very good. Thank you, Tanya, and thanks for the invite.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for coming. Oh my gosh, I appreciate you being on here
I think they can.
anytime. Yeah. But today I wanted to talk
Yeah.
about how awful how awful this world of true crime has become, and I don't and the thing with the birds of a feather that they keep throwing at you is so silly. It's just, I mean, do you agree? I think that it doesn't matter, like I was saying on Cher's channel, it doesn't matter what my friends believe, or unless it's something horrible. And like I said, I even had a girlfriend who was my friend for one of my best friends for many years, who hated my brother because he ended up going out with another girl or whatever. But she was still one of my best friends. And that's, it doesn't really matter who, or your acquaintances too, because people are pretending that everyone on YouTube that we affiliate with actually are our close friends and we believe the same thing they believe and whatever. So, I mean, what do you think about all that? You know?
Yeah. From my point of view, it's just lazy thinking. Now,
Yeah.
from what I perceive from a lot of people, is on YouTube, is they tend to think like light switches. Okay, it's binary
Yes.
thinking. It's a 1 or a 0. But
Yep.
even worse than that, I believe there's something underneath it that's a little bit more manipulative that's going on, right? And a little bit, it really expresses a weakness, okay? Because I believe that the reason that a lot of people stick to that kind of theme, birds of a feather flock together,
Yes.
is because they're not willing to be open-minded and admit that one opinion on something, even if it's a very emotional thing like the Chris Watts case, just one opinion on that does not define a person. Okay?
Yes.
But what I mean by something manipulative going on underneath there is I suspect there's something shallow going on with some of these creators out there. I don't believe they are being completely honest about trying
Right.
to advocate, for example, for victims.
No. No.
And I think they expose themselves, whether they realize it or not. That's, and I
Exactly.
want to say, Tanya, that what I'm saying right now is my opinion, right? Just me being here saying this doesn't mean that you necessarily agree with it or you endorse what I'm saying.
No,
So
I do. I
why
actually
people
do
can't
agree
grow
with you.
up and
Right.
understand that, I will never
I
understand.
know. I mean, yeah, again, I agree with you, but I wonder,
Cool.
I wonder if
There
our
you go.
theories about, there's going to be something we don't agree with everyone on, and I think that that doesn't make us bad people. It doesn't make the other person. I mean, certainly if someone were an axe murderer or something, or even, Chris Watts, I think that's a big enough offense to cause someone to no longer associate with them. But if people simply have a different opinion of a murder case, of course not.
Yeah.
Hi, Dana. How are you?
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Rabid Dog. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, good, good. Thank you for being here, of course.
Hey, Anna. Oh, good.
Hey.
Yeah. And how do you feel about all that, Dana, as far as
I'm worried that you fell.
I
What did you say, Rabbit?
think we're delayed a bit.
Oh, that's what it is.
I think we have some
Yeah,
delays.
we do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just worried that Dana fell under some collateral damage last night on a
Oh,
certain channel. I'm
Oh,
worried about. So if that
oh, that's
happened,
probably what it
then I'm
is.
sorry for you.
But look, if people are destructive or damage other people, I would have been damaged on Thursday. It would have
right.
happened soon. anyway. So you Rabid Dog, you didn't do anything. The people who are destructive are the people who are destructive. End of story. So in a way, I'm glad it happened because I think there was a sort of a wonder, like, gosh, there's something uncomfortable here, and it's gonna this is not steady, and it's going to someday. That I kind of expected that, strangely enough, if I was really if I'm being very honest with myself, because it's just too black and white. There's
Yes.
so I feel the same. It was peculiar to be called out yesterday. I went into that channel and I made a couple friendly hellos, whatever, and somebody said, "Oh, that's Dana, and you know what she's done, and she's a
Oh
bad
gosh.
wolf." And it's like,
What
well,
she's done. Yeah.
yeah. And so that was enough information for the creator to say, "That's okay. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone." And I came in my other name and went, "Hey, could I have a link? That really wasn't fair." And she went, "No, Dana, you can't have a link. You can't have a link."
Oh my gosh, where was that? I missed that. I don't know. I didn't see it. Did I see it? I don't think so.
Kelly, the lunatic.
Yes.
I am so sorry.
So
oh my
thank
gosh.
you. It was peculiar.
Are you still live, Tanya?
I'm sorry?
He might not hear you.
Yeah, I think that
Are you still live?
I am. Is it not? Are you able to see it? Or hear it, rather?
Rabid Dog, why don't you pop out and pop back in?
It's fine now, yeah. Maybe it's an issue on my end.
It seems as though we do have a lag. Hi, Cher.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thanks for being here. Hey, thank you for rushing over here.
See.
I know, right? Oh, no, we lost Rabid Dog. Yeah, just try to come back in, and I'll approve you right away. I'll put the link up again here. Oh,
Hi, Tanya.
Hi, how are you?
Good, we're all here. Oh, yay.
We're all here. Again, we lost Rabid Dog, and I really wanted to get him a chance to talk. But no, I think
I heard him say he'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. We were on a terrible delay, so there he is. Yay. Hey, Rabid Dog, are you back?
Hey.
Yeah? Can you hear us well now?
So,
I don't know.
Maybe it's a problem with my prehistoric Scottish Wi-Fi.
Oh, gosh, maybe.
Really quick, can I just say, I had a nasty comment from somebody using the name Rabid Dog, and everyone saw the video I did. I just want to apologize and let everyone know it was not this Rabid Dog that threatened me and my children, okay?
Yes.
That's how me and him became in contact, but not the same Rabid Dog, and I think that's horrible that they would do that.
Yeah, it is.
Terrible.
And I keep waiting for them to clone me, but they haven't
it's very
yet.
strange, but listen, Cher, thank you. Yeah, and doesn't it just tell you, Cher, what YouTube is all about? The fact that you and I met over some loony doing that to you with my name.
Right.
Isn't it? Doesn't that symbolize something about YouTube? That's how we met. Tells you everything.
Yeah. Exactly. It does, and the fact, that it was caused by hatred. But we lost Dana. I'll go ahead and put the link up again here. I think I know, and my Wi-Fi is good and strong today, so I don't think it's me. Maybe it is me. It's always me. I don't know. But
it's always you. No,
it's always
pretty good today too.
Okay, good.
We all take turns with our Wi-Fi being on.
There she is. We'll put her back up. Hey,
sorry about that. I'm sorry.
No.
I think I bumped into Rabid Dog's Wi-Fi. Prehistoric. I don't know how I'm going downstairs. I really do think my Wi-Fi is fiddling with me. So
I know mine does that too.
I've had a clone. I've had a clone, and I actually made a little video like, you know what? I don't know who that clone is, everybody, because it wasn't me. Like, how would I know who that person is?
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Exactly.
I know, right?
Yeah, but I'm not the person who has the same name as me and goes in with my picture and says mean things to other people. If it's that person, anyway. So I knew right away it wasn't our Rabid Dog, but I just watched that video, by the way, Cher, and I just wrote like something like, "Oh my God in heaven!" Just shocking. Yeah. It was terrible. What happened?
That's
oh my gosh,
it's so strange.
It's eerie. It's creepy.
No, your name is, this is Cher, but I see Rosemary's Voices.
Yes, I'm Cher's new partner.
Gotcha.
She's her co-host. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Hi, Jane. I guess I thought we might have met on another channel, but maybe we didn't. Yeah, I'm
partner in crime.
That's good. Right. Good title.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Really good.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna run with that now.
So we call you Cher. Is that correct, or am I?
No. She's Rosemary. Cher was here a moment ago.
Okay,
yeah, Cher,
got it.
She's kind
they
of
have a similar voice, though. I noticed that. I don't know. Yeah.
She'll be right back, though. But yeah.
Are you originally from where Cher is from, Rosemary?
No, I'm from Pennsylvania. And Cher is born and raised in what, Minnesota?
I think you're right, but I believe she was born in Canada, though.
That's right. I think
yeah.
So, you're right.
And so I detect a little bit of a Canadian accent in her voice, but I think that, I think that maybe she's lost it, and, and maybe I'm just thinking that it's, whatever state she's in right now, that is a similar accent. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
No, it is a similar accent.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to talk about, number one, that birds with feather baloney, and I wrote up a big thing here to say about all of that, and certain things I wrote was like, if a new friend tells me she robbed her own grandmother when she was 15, do I look at her with scorn now? What about all those lovely things she's accomplished since then, paying back her grandma, getting her degree in social work, actively bringing dinner every night to homeless people in her town? Does that not all count? And I wrote up a bunch of examples about how people are so much more than the sum of the theories they believe surrounding a case, and especially a case that didn't really involve them, even though it feels as if it didn't. I think that a lot of these people, again, are trying to redefine what harassment is, in order to support people who deserve support, absolutely, but they don't deserve militant vigilante support. I don't, no one needs that.
There's a difference between supporting someone and becoming like you're a supporter versus becoming an aggressive, Rottweiler guard dog. There's a big difference in how you are going to approach situations and what you want to set across as the message. Because when you walk away, what are people going to say? She handled that great, or well, that's a loose cannon. It's you have to put some thought into life. It's just people aren't doing that enough, and I think that's another part of the problem.
I know,
and a lot of instant gratification, and we don't want to wait for things, and we have a lot of patience is definitely a lost virtue, but
it's very juvenile, though, isn't it? There's something so peculiar. It's so ridiculous. If we wouldn't, if that happened outside of YouTube, it would be a story that would be like, did you hear what happened? They had a bickering over this and a fall. It's so odd. But it becomes kind of the accepted oddity on YouTube, I'm noticing too.
It is, and I think that happens with, and what they do is they create a false narrative for the people who are supposedly the enemy. And I think, Rabid, that happened to you the other day, where someone actually said that you belong to some untoward group that you don't belong to, and even when they found out the truth, they did not apologize. I mean, I would apologize up and down and feel so bad.
Oh,
exactly. Wasn't that so? Yeah. Wasn't that so revealing?
That is revealing. I didn't know that. Okay. It tells you, but
these people don't care about the truth.
Their agenda isn't the truth. Their agenda is to slander. So who's the enemy this month? Oh, it's Rabid Dog. So everybody everybody get your pencils out. Rabid Dog. Everybody, you see him, you go after him, you attack him. Okay, good. Everybody knows we're on board. Yeah, and it's listen. There is a personality disorder. I'm sure you've all heard of borderline personality disorder, and it's one of the groups I work with most intensely. It's really sort of my specialty, but what they struggle with individually is, we call it splitting. It's a type of thinking. Everything is either all bad or all good. And it happens in a heartbeat. So you're idealized. I, the therapist, can be idealized. I'm the nicest person that ever walked the face of the earth. And then tomorrow, I wasn't as friendly, or I'm not going, let's just say whatever it is that turned me into the demon. And it's not too different. And this is a mental disorder that is very difficult to treat, but it's they can learn behaviors to help them. They're lovable people. But I see this with groups. The group has a borderline personalities disorder.
Right.
And I see it over and over again. And it's stunning because it becomes this group thing of just incredible craziness that, if it's one person, you can say, I can see how you can see Rabid Dog I could see that you would think that way, but let's talk about it, because maybe it's, it's more nuanced than these black and white, bad or good.
Yes. And there is no black and white or bad or good. I think that, again, I say it all the time, but I think those people are very similar to us. They're all human. And Rabid Dog tried to drive this home the other day, where he told one creator over and over again, they're all human beings just like you and me. They're all human beings. We're all human. We all have our flaws, but at the end of the day, we are all humans. And she wouldn't accept that as if we were some kind of, three-eyed monster or whatever. Yes, right. And when people go on a smear campaign like that, it's important to keep this.
It's because. Damn, I'm definitely lagging, am I?
You are. It's okay.
It sounds like I'm interrupting, but it's a lag.
No, I can tell you're saying something, and then but like, it's because. And then I was like, it's
just on your point.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Rabid Dog. You were done. Yeah.
I think on the points that you were both just making, it's so true. I'm trying, just because of the confusion with the lag there, I've forgotten what I was going to say. So,
no.
It'll come back.
But in general, isn't groupthink fascinating? Isn't it fascinating?
Oh, it's fascinating. And I've never understood it, quite frankly. I mean, I literally mean that. I've never been a cheerleader. I've never been in the group. I was in the thespian group in high school. But they were different. They were all a bunch of misfits and oddballs, and they were easier. We're a bunch of weirdos together. We all have our own thoughts, individual thoughts. Yeah, it is truth though. I don't understand. We all are rooting for this, and we're all against this. What are we against? This. It doesn't. There's no individual thought. It's really, you sign up for this group, and so it's like you're signing up for the football team. So we're going to root for you no matter what.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And again, I compared it to the political war going on right now with our presidential election. And it's just that both sides are blind, and they'll support their guy until the end of the world, or whatever. And it's so much like politics are everywhere, including right here on YouTube, where they gather up one guy and they say that, or one lady, and say that they're so bad. Don't you see it? Don't you know what they've done? And it's just it's hilarious because you'll say, well, no, what have they done? What?
Right.
Did you research what they have done?
Did
No.
you research
an interview?
I remember you telling us that last time. Didn't you research was the question. Like, before I have a conversation with Tanya, I will do a 10-year back history on everything she's done. And are you serious? I'm getting to know her today. Today is really, I got to know you before, and we're gonna have a nice time. I'm certain of it, and if we, stumble together, then so be it. It doesn't mean we can't get back up again. And wow, that was a bummer. We stumbled together, and now we're, walking down and hold hand in hand. We're gonna be just fine.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And she defamed Rabid yesterday and couldn't even apologize after. Oh, there's Cher.
Guys, I'm gonna reboot my lap.
Yeah. We'll still be here.
He's gonna reboot his lap. So we're just not really sure what that idea.
I'm going to reboot my laptop because it's.
Yeah, go ahead and then hop back in. I'll put the link up again.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay. Bye.
Hey, Cher.
Yeah, hi Cher. She defamed Rabid yesterday and couldn't even apologize. And again, I don't like to call out other creators, and I think that, gosh, wouldn't it be nice to sit in a room with all these people? Like Iva, even Iva, I really actually think she's hilarious. And I know she's a good lady because she loves her animals, and she's a grandmother of someone, and I think.
Yeah.
I think that wouldn't it be nice to sit down to, or whatever and talk about our. We don't really have differences. That's what I'm saying. We're all
Of course.
Even with Kelly the Advocate, I know that she's a decent person, and
by all means.
It's just this particular topic. People become, again, like rabid dogs. No pun intended, but they.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The name. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They go after, them, whoever them is at the moment. Mm-hmm. Because we have to maintain this this facade of knowing everything that's right and being on the righteous side, whatever. I don't know. Look, I unfollowed her after her. Oh no, somebody in your sandbox. Okay, good. Where's your pic? I don't know. Oh, your pic's up there. Cher, can you still hear me?
I'm hearing a toilet flush.
Oh no, I'm hearing that too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably just, anyway. It's no big deal because we all do that. And
yeah, we all have. Yeah. I have to pee all the time.
Oh, me too. Get out. Me too. Really?
It's like 5
yeah.
minutes. There's no reason for it. It makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, it's just a woman thing, I think.
Turns out it's a human thing, or all mammals, or actually, I think all animals. We pee. What do you know?
Well, my husband goes like 48 hours without peeing. But
I know. I know. Just wait till he gets a little bit older, because my boyfriend's always, he goes out, he gets up a few times a night. So anyway. I don't know. Oh, that's cute.
Oh my gosh, that's not Cher on panel. What the heck? Cher. Okay, I've got Cher on phone here. Hold
Get out. Are you kidding?
That's their role that's using my picture and name. That's all right.
Are you kidding?
Goodbye.
How bizarre.
That was not Cher. Okay, we got rid of her.
What happened there?
Someone came in pretending to be Cher, and they repeatedly played the sound of a toilet flushing.
I thought, well, I gotta say it. I thought maybe she was just cleaning the toilet while talking, and how you do as a mom.
Oh my! And Cher, I'm assuming that's you. Is that you up there now?
No, that's a toilet Cher.
Oh my God! Can somebody...
Who is on the toilet?
Nobody's really on the toilet.
Not me, anyway.
Is anyone on the toilet?
No. Oh gosh!
And then I'd mute myself and run to pee. Oh my God!
I've done that too. Yeah, I've muted myself.
Okay, this is my real Cher is right here. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
That Cher is here. All right, so this was not Cher. Goodbye. Can I ban? How can we
ban the toilet Cher? That is not the real Cher.
I banned from studio. Okay, I banned that person from. I think I did. Banned from studio. How about that? Kick
guest. happening. Yeah.
Someone just cloned Cher. Is that what we're saying?
And flushed the toilet over and over again.
Oh.
Yeah, flush the toilet over and over again.
That was funny. I mean, that's the kind of thing you do, like when you're in junior high. Also, like, listen to this. We'll just flush the toilet and we'll make a prank phone call.
Remember those prank phone calls we made as little girls or boys?
They were good fun. It was great fun at 10, right?
Yeah. Our friends didn't know it was us doing it. They had no idea it was us.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Get giddy if you talk about.
Oh, we'd laugh. Yes, and I used to. My friend and I used to call and say, we were probably 11. Hi, I just want you to know your husband and I are in love with each other. And the lady would always laugh and go, yes. Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
And she'd be like, oh, okay, well, I hope you guys have a good life. And I'd be like, well, yeah, we're gonna have a good life. How about that? It was just any number. You could just make up a number, and it would usually be a lady who'd answer the phone.
Oh my God, why can I not get rid of this person? Require, okay. To ban a guest, you need to require all guests to authenticate with YouTube or Facebook. Existing guests won't need to authenticate unless they refresh the page or you kick them. Oh my God, fake voices, you're not getting up here, dude.
No.
I'm sorry.
Look out for really strange accounts that try to come in, because someone did that to me a while back, and it was just some teenager exposing himself on camera, and you can't. Yeah, you can't undo it.
Good fun on YouTube.
Yeah.
I had a guy. I had a guy come on saying he was a friend of mine, and he was calling me. He was Jew bashing because I'm Jewish. I'm half Jewish, and I was like, "Oh, I know who that is. That's not my friend Corey, the girl." It was like that's that guy who doesn't like Jewish people. It was such an odd thing. It didn't even offend me because it was so juvenile. Yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you hate even being a part of it at all.
Yes.
In any way. Yeah.
Yes.
It is juvenile.
So the advocates are listening. LOL. Hi. Yeah, they're listening and they're participating. I don't know if they're from that channel. No, I don't know where they're coming from.
Whoever.
Listen, if my friend Kathy from when I was in 6th grade, and if there was a YouTube live, I would have gone on and said, "Hey, guess what? Your husband and I are having an affair, so haha." Yeah, I would do it. Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah. So there you go.
My girlfriend Laura and I used to call them and say, "I am your husband's personal friend," and they would laugh, and they're like, "Personal friend." And they say, "Harry, get in here," and they both laugh at us, and then we hang up.
Yes, exactly, and laugh for hours and hours, and we loved it.
And we had these little 9-year-old girl voices, and we didn't know.
Yes, right, exactly. It was good fun. It was free, that you didn't have to spend a lot of money on great entertainment. No harm, no foul.
Did you do that, Rabid Dog, when you were a kid?
Yeah. What we used to do is phone up a pizza shop or something and just pretend to be an idiot, right? And say, I was walking past your pizza shop there the other day, and a pepperoni just came flying out the air and hit me in the head. So I want to make an official complaint.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. And we used to do pizza places when I was older, like my brother and his friends, and I'd be there in the background because they were the only ones that wanted to do it. They would call pizza places and say, "I got a pizza yesterday and it was soggy. And I'm really mad," and blah blah. And they usually offer you a free pizza, so we did a pizza for the night.
I think everybody did that. You would say, "My whole house, everyone's sick. We're all on no one could get off the toilet, and we don't have enough toilets." I do remember doing that one.
Oh God!
Yeah, we're all toilets, and we're all on the toilet, and we don't have enough toilets. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Like, we can send up a free pizza, ma'am. That's not going to help now. Like. Yeah. That was a good one. That was that was
so. Yeah, I mean, look, when you're a kid, it is good fun, but it is peculiar because we have this feeling that they're like adults who are flushing the toilet and going on YouTube. We got them.
I know. I mean, I was 17. I was 17.
Calming the chaos in the chat. Honey, would you like to come up here?
Oh, Tracy, I love Tracy.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Who's there?
Tracy's one of the good ones, but unfortunately for her, she's in a tricky, tough position, and I really feel for her.
Oh no, I'm not aware of that. Then I've only put her around in places, and
it's awful. The stories lately, it's just terrible. We have to.
Yeah, I know, and
we have to be the change. That's all. There's just
we have to be the change.
We have to be the change.
We know we're not going to act like that. If we at least know that and agree on that right now. It's that we're already better. We're already better.
Do you know what's strange for me though, right? Because I got a lot of people wanting me to move on from what they perceive as this kind of fight in an alleyway. But there's 2 points. The first point is I don't welcome it. It comes to me regardless of what I say or do or how hard I try to be rational with these people, right?
Yeah.
It does.
So, and when people literally put out slander and lies, right, about something extremely serious and important to me, okay? About someone that I have a disagreement with, but I like the person, and I've defended that person since day one. Okay, so that's such a underhanded, nasty tactic to use. So I have no choice. I've got no choice but to reply and address that, and I'm going to do it. But the other point is, it's part of the reason I started my channel is because I have a genuine fascination with social interaction and human behavior.
Oh,
And
yes.
and what's happening here is just it represents that in a microcosm. So it still interests me. It doesn't get to me personally, but I find it fascinating, you know. So I've got that dilemma, but I also want to move on and talk about other true crime cases and such.
Sure,
you know?
I agree.
I get bored.
I get that.
bored of staying one thing for too long anyway, so I want to move on.
Yes, and I get that. It is a dilemma for me too. I have different mindsets that, you know what, it's okay. People are going to be rotten sometimes, and Dana, you've gotten through it before, and other times I'm in tears because, you know, kind of, I wasn't in tears yesterday, but if I were in a more fragile state, I may have been, because I was unjustly outed for something I didn't do. I did nothing, and
I didn't. I must have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What on art was that on Voices channel?
No. It was
Rabbit, you tell the story.
On, I'll tell it, right? It was on
I'm sorry,
Kelly the Lunatic's channel, and I don't normally name call like that, right?
Right. No,
she deserves it.
I have a lot of respect for you. So if you're talking like this, if something bad happens.
Yeah, something bad that happened.
It has to be bad for you to get to this level.
Yes.
I mean that wholeheartedly.
I agree. Go ahead, Rabbit. So then what happened?
Yeah. So then, so what happened? So what happened is like literally the day before, she went on one of her crazy, unhinged rants, stating as a fact on another channel that she didn't just put this out there as a suggestion or like a theory.
I wonder if,
right? Okay, she stated it as a fact. Okay, so obviously that's going to annoy me. So I went into her, and I've asked her to talk to me calmly, and she can't do it, right? She comes up with all these excuses. It's just childish. So I went into her channel, right, because she was on yesterday, right, and my name came up. So I went on panel, and she literally. Now, the mute button is there for a reason, and it's there for a good reason, right? Because sometimes people lose their rag, and you have to mute them. Right? So I understand that. Right. But what she did is because I was in StreamYard, and every time you press mute, it comes up on StreamYard. So I could see in a 5-minute attempt to have a civilized conversation, she was muting me on and off every 20 seconds. Right?
Oh gosh!
Wow!
How powerful, she had with that little button.
Yeah. Very dirty. That's very dirty.
So underhanded, right? Yeah. So I persevered and just tried to get my point over to anyone with a rational mind that was listening. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So once that was over, she finally booted me. Right. So. What you would have heard if you'd opened your window was one giant laugh coming from Scotland all the way to Alaska, right? and then after that, like myself and Dana have become pretty good friends, right? We agree on a lot of things. Okay?
Absolutely.
So someone told me that they were like being nasty to Dana. So I contacted Dana just to say, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but I have zero doubt that there's no basis behind it and you've been treated unfairly. So that's all I know.
Yeah. That's nice.
I really appreciate that email. I popped in. I've gone and I introduced Rabid to Kelly on my channel. Because I just met her and I thought, oh, delightful, wonderful. Somebody who's helping, victims of crime. Isn't this great? And I've never, ever had a problem. But then suddenly Rabbit had a problem. So I'm watching more sort of cautiously going, I wonder. Yeah, that's odd because I've been bullied many, many times in my life and on YouTube. So,
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird predicament. But when I went into her chat yesterday, I was bored. My boyfriend was at work all day again. That's all he does ever. It's another story. So I came in and I noticed that the Ruseks were in there. I was like, oh yeah, oh gosh, and that's so sad, and and so I said a couple of very loving things actually to the people, and like, gosh, guys, this is and then another creator, a very big creator, was on the panel and said, hey, Dana a little bit is friends with such and such and such and such. And I'm pretty sure that that Dana a little bit said bad things about me this one time, which has never happened. Never. I'm like, what are you? Because she has a beef with another person. Like, why? So I'm friendly with that guy. I'm very friendly. Of course, I'm going to be friendly with people. Even if I've gotten in arguments with them, I'm going to make up. That's usually what we do, right?
Right.
So I will. So she said, yeah, that Dana you just pinned her comment, even though she said a good comment. She really shouldn't be here. And then Kelly said, she's gone. Don't worry, I blocked her. She's gone.
Bonkers.
Oh my gosh,
that is bonkers.
You know,
Dana, I came in on a different my other channel that says Dana a little bit and it's the same. It's just a different Dana a little bit. See, and I said, hey, could I have a link? That wasn't really fair. And she went, no, Dana, you cannot have a link. You're gone again. And I was like, this was such a creepy feeling. It was such a...
I bet she said it with such pleasure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was so weird. And then some people they were cussing at me and I'm like, I've just walked into the Twilight Zone. This is...
It is, yeah. You don't you forget. Am I the victim, or am I did I the one that started this?
Yes, you do. You question yourself.
Well, because you have a ton of people attacking you like that.
Oh, and I have to say, it did feel bad because none of it was true. I've never said anything bad about the other creator at all, never. And the Rusiks were on, and I felt like, great, now they're gonna think I'm this big bad wolf, and
I know.
There's a lot of problems when it comes to MRB. Okay, now it's difficult for me to talk about, right? Because I have no intentions of saying anything negative about her. Okay, because we've got a long history, and I do like her. The problem is people, they fawn over every word she says. Okay. Every word, and I'm afraid she's saying some things that are simply untrue. Okay, and I know for a fact because there's a good friend of mine that I met recently. Now she's putting out there allegations that all these people are going to take as gospel that I know for a fact are wrong. Okay, now that kind of lazy insinuation to people that you know fawn over your every word like it's gospel.
That's not,
you have to take some responsibility for that.
You do.
You do. And you can't just make up something like they made up that Dr. B and I are involved in human trafficking, and also Dr. B's lovely sister, and even Cher.
You're in human trafficking, Tom?
And because we come from the same country, essentially, and that we're gypsies and we're in human trafficking, and they just make that, that is called slander. It really, and that is slander, but it's difficult to go and sue people in other countries because they, my attorney has always told me he's not going to send out cease and desist letters unless I plan to sue. And so that's even hard to send out a PMB. But it would cost multiple tens of thousands of dollars to do that for someone in another country. But and then the others, there are a lot of people who are actually here on this piece of rock that have carried those tales and talked about me that way. And those people I can sue. But and that's a shame. It's a shame that people would actually do that and leave video evidence that they're saying terrible off the wall things about anyone.
It's just crazy. It's not. We didn't even do that in 5th grade when we made those phone calls. Nothing that low. It's crazy.
Never.
We just No, that's really. It is slander. It's shocking, really.
It is.
And it's happened to me. Also, there's somebody, and I'm sure she's here, and she tapes me, and she puts my voice on The Wicked Witch of the West and The Three Stooges, and she takes it and makes it sound like I'm saying really horrendous things that are untrue about myself. But people love her. People love her. So it's about pedophilia, and they say that I'm pro pedophilia. Like I Dana, right? Are you serious? Who is there anybody in the world who's actually listen? What do you stand for? I stand for pedophilia. Okay, that's gonna be cut and on one of her videos. We'll see. It really will. I'm not kidding. So it's bizarre. I took her channel down, and then everybody was mad at me, and I thought, well, screw it. Yeah, I took her channel down. She was slandering me, and she got her channel back up, so she's just as aggressive as ever. But there you go. It's a weird world.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're referring
that
to.
Is, that is the problem too with these media platforms. What they're allowing on their sites. I think they need some responsibility too, because they're, we're coming to YouTube. Yes, we try to, keep our stuff together and act right. But those that don't, and it's chronic and it continues, at what point do you look at YouTube and say, what do you do? What are you going to do about this? What my son, like I said, my son, when he was in high school, a boy was bullied so bad on Facebook. He jumped off a bridge into, not even into water, into stones, and he died. He was 16.
Poor baby.
They were bullying the crap out of him on Facebook. And it had been going on, my son said, Mom, I think, they've been doing this for a few months. And I thought, where is Facebook's responsibility in this? Is there any? Is there any? Because
no, they don't.
The hell out of me as a parent.
Yeah.
I used to teach before. So I'm a therapist, but I used to teach elementary school. And when I was really young, I was in my 20s. And I'm in my early 20s. So I had third graders, and I had one day I saw a fifth grade, very gawky, awkward boy running down the hallway, kind of terrified. And these great big thugs were chasing him and laughing. And I'm 5'4". I'm very petite myself. So I grabbed them and went, get in here, guys, so they were, so I started this program. Anyway, I had them stay in my class for the last hour every day of the week. And their own teacher was very mad at me. And I said, no, they're going to be third graders until they get it. And they stayed in my room all week, and they ended up, so I started a program through these two boys who actually came through and became really good friends with the kid they bullied. So I called the program, it was called Bullies to Friends. And we made it kind of a school-wide. Yeah, it was really cool. And the bullies were educated. The bullies were educated. Like, do you understand? I told them that used to happen to me when I was a little girl. I was bullied, and they liked me. So they're like, "No way, that's terrible." I'm like, "Yeah, no, it did. It happened to me."
Right.
And you can make a change. And it gave them the sense of this. You can take. Often, not always. There are some absolute psychopaths, but you can take people and say, take this energy and put it toward good. You'll be amazed what can happen.
Yeah, 100%. That is a great program.
Yeah.
They don't realize the past. Bullies, when they're that young, they don't realize how powerful their words are.
No.
At that age, they have no idea that what they're saying. They want to be mean, but they don't realize just how bad it really does stick on that little boy you're calling a nerd that's in the corner of the room. And the good, it's awful.
And the thing is, there are nerdy people. I'm kind of nerdy myself in a different.
Absolutely, and that's okay.
Right, and it's okay. And I think that the boy continued to be a nerd, and they were like, "It's okay because we're protecting him." And we, they took him under their wing, and it really changed. And then I became a therapist. I kid you not. I saw one of the head bullies. His name was Anthony. Don't worry, this was many, many, many years ago, 30 years ago. And he was in a group home. And he was like, Dana, or Miss, whatever my last name used to be. And I was like, hey, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? And he was a good guy. I mean, he had a lot of trouble. He came from a very abusive family, and that's why he was a bully. But if you can get to them, you can. I'm saying this, it sounds almost, futile to say, maybe we can make a difference. But I do believe that maybe even with adults, we can go, hey, take a look at this concept.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. That's. Or I wouldn't even join Cher. Yeah.
They won't do it. They won't agree to sit and talk to us. Why? I would love to be on a panel with everyone and talk out everything and become friends and join forces, especially the women against women thing. We're supposed to support and raise up all other women.
Yeah, I hate when I see that. That's just awful. We need to lift each other up instead of trying to dig each other down deeper.
Oh, of course.
Definitely.
Wouldn't it be great if that was just that was the rule of nature for all people?
I really do.
And it seems to be on YouTube. It seems to be like completely okay to say, no, you can't come up here and you can't speak for yourself, and we're just going to ban you. And too bad, because this person is being, yesterday it was me, the other day it was Rabid Dog, and it's going to be us again. It's going to be all of you. If you use your voice, and stand up, you're definitely going to be knocked down unjustly.
You are, and I think that a lot of people who do, like the people like you and me and other people, especially YouTubers who do have my voice is awful, but I mean people who have, theoretically a strong voice. Don't know how to take you. They don't know how to, I think that's what happened to me with Grey Gardens, is that I did always speak out, and I always talked very much about, I had secret knowledge because I was writing one book with a jerk and, involved in Grey Gardens, and then
how interesting.
Yes, and I was writing another book with a beautiful lady who is involved with Grey Gardens, and I had inside knowledge, and I came out of nowhere, and well, I'm an author, so obviously we're going to get, but I was very outspoken in the little different groups that were out there for Grey Gardens, and they didn't know how to take me, so they hated me, and it was horrible bullying.
Guys, can I just quickly say something there? I've just seen Tracy, who is calming the chaos, is just pointing out apparently her and her licensure and credentials aren't welcome here. Now, I don't know what confusion has occurred there, but I can guarantee anyone that Tracy's credentials are real, and she's lovely. She is lovely, and she's in a tough spot right now of not of her making. I just want to point that out.
Tracy is also known as, I'm so sorry guys, Tracy is otherwise known as, does she have a YouTube name?
Calming the Chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's a therapist.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. They challenge me on that all the time. What are your credentials exactly? Where did I'm like, what is this?
I don't need to tell anybody any more than I want to say, whether I'm a nurse or a healthcare worker or director nurse. That's up to me what I let out.
Of course. And if I do bring it up, it's because hey, we're talking about mental health. I happen to know a thing or two about this, and I think I might be able to add to the subject. But and I'm not going to talk about legal stuff because I suck at that, or numbers, anything like that. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not good at it. But somebody here might be an accountant or a lawyer, and they can.
That's right, and
jump in.
That's the beauty of adversity.
Yeah.
Okay, Mama Bear, I get. I'm sorry, I get what's going on. That Calming the Chaos had questioned Dr. B's her credentials, but you know what? Dr. B's a wonderful lady, and she has her degree, she has her license, and she has a doctorate in psychology. And Calming the Chaos, you do too. And I think you girls are very similar. And I don't want to see people that I actually care about and like. I like you both, of course. I don't want you guys to argue between you two because you're both very well credentialed. You have the expertise needed to talk about the subject. The Calming the Chaos, we don't need to see Dr. B's license. She has actually showed that to people privately because people keep questioning her, and I feel bad that she'd have to do that.
That's silly.
And Tracy, I love you too, and I wouldn't question your credentials at all, of course.
Well, and another thing, I agree, and I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I love everything you're saying, but it happens to me every week that people will question my she says she's a fake therapist, and I'll say, well, I'm not providing therapy on YouTube. You've got that right. But I am a therapist, and I worked very hard to become one. So I'm going to stand up if you say that and say that's not true. I've been a therapist for a long, long time. It's what I do. I do it well. I'm good at it.
People accuse me of being a fake dog. I don't know where they get that from.
Really? Yeah, that's weird. That's bizarre. And I'm sure of it. I've seen your picture and everything.
You're the world's only talking red dog. Okay.
Yes. With rabies.
With rabies.
Yes.
With
rabies.
Right. Yeah. He's very civilized. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. And I think that, no, I've been a fake author recently, especially recently. I've been a fake author. Yeah. I don't know if someone wrote all those books for me or I just attached my name to someone. Oh, that's what they said. I forgot. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
They said that I put my name and photo over this poor woman named Tanya Hagan. I put my name and photo all over the internet.
That was you.
Yes.
We're frauds. We're just frauds.
Yes.
That's what it turns out.
And this real author didn't question any of it. She's just like, okay, well, I'll keep her picture up.
That's right. That's cool. Yeah, she can take the credit. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Mr. Cher. Hello, Mr. Cher. How are you?
Casey, why would you say that?
Who?
Sorry, it's just a comment.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Or I didn't read it. I do poorly with the comments when I'm actually trying, when I go off on my tangents.
Oh, you're okay.
You're fine, and you have a beautiful voice, by the way, Tanya. So you earlier said you didn't, but no, you do. You speak beautifully.
Oh, thank you. No, I've always, when I did the Inland Empire TV News, actually, I was the business girl, nightly business report, and I would do, they sent in a guy to train my voice.
Really?
It was so bad. Well, okay, I try to keep my voice not high-pitched, and sometimes you can hear it going up, like a bunch of octaves or whatever, down, or I forget how that works, but I try to keep, well, anyway, I don't like my voice, and people always point out how awful my voice is, so
oh gosh,
no.
Thank you. You're very kind, though. Thank you.
You say exactly the way you are. You bring us all joy.
That is
absolutely.
really
Thank
sad.
you. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you.
We need to find something so good at desperately that today we'll talk about how awful your voice is.
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
I've gotten that too.
It's so beneath all of us.
People say when Dana starts talking, I vomit. People say that all the time.
I love your voice. Oh my God,
so nice.
It's weird. It's just weird.
I've
gotten made fun of
when she hears your voice. Obviously.
Yes, we did hear Cher flush in the toilet over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah,
we just
tell me about that.
Everything's
that
fine.
That was not Cher, guys. Come on.
Oh,
it was some troll or whatever.
Oh, hey, Mr. Cher.
It was a fifth grader.
I thought Cher had to pee and she didn't mute herself. No big deal. Whatever. And then it would have kept going on and on and on. Oh my goodness, that was not Cher. I repeat, that was not Cher. And that person has tried to get on maybe 5 times in addition to that one time. And one time I was, stupid, and I put them back up again. Thinking that it was Cher this time, and then, whatever.
Do you not just get images of someone taking the time to go onto someone's icon and download the icon and put it onto another account, all that? It's like, why take the time?
Yeah.
And Stephanie, these words are beautiful. Come into chaos. I enjoy both your channel and Dr. B. I'm not sure where the questioning is coming from, but I assure you it must be. Yes, thank you, Stephanie, the voice of reason. I love Calming the Chaos, and I love Dr. B, and you girls need to talk and straighten out your stuff, and you're okay, and you're both good, and you both have your license, and whatever. I don't want to be cruel to anyone. Certainly not.
We'll get past this. We get dysregulated emotionally. All of us do as humans. So it'll all be okay as long as we're sort of committed to, in the end, we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this together.
Cher is saying hi to her boyfriend. Isn't that?
Hey, honey.
Just want to make sure that's the real Cher.
No, that is the real Cher. The person who came up here wasn't smart enough.
Does she even know what happened?
Yeah, she was on. She texted and called me like, that is not me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. She realized it, of course, before we did, because I don't know why we didn't figure it out that was fake. And Rabid Dog, I was going to tell you, you sound like David Tennant. Do you know David Tennant?
Yeah, people tell me that all the time. I do like David Tennant. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I agree.
So are you the doctor? No, I'm kidding.
He's not the doctor anymore, is he?
No, he's not. I don't know how I feel about the lady doctor. She's funny.
Oh, well, I could say something really controversial that would just bring a whole more load of hate towards me. So
are you a doctor? No, say it. That's okay.
I maybe should hold my tongue. Well, okay. Okay, I was talking about this the other day, and it's I think it was in connection with the whole Star Wars thing, and the reason why Star Wars was destroyed. Because of this political correct craziness that's going on in culture and in media at the moment. So people are being chosen to be, say, Doctor Who, for example, simply because they're female, because it's they need to look virtuous, just to show how equal society is and how equal our media outlet is, and it's of course we want equality, of course we do. But that kind of thing is, forcing it like that. It's just silly,
I think so too. And that's why I didn't like it in the beginning, because my doctor is a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that sounds terrible. And oh my gosh, am I going to get fallout for that? But, James Bond is a man, and this is an entertainment, a form of entertainment where we have this in our head. And I guess the doctor could be a woman, but, and I do like the actress.
Yeah. If it happened naturally for noble reasons, then great.
Right.
That could be awesome. But you just know, because it's so widespread, you just know that there's little group think tanks, coming up with all this kind of stuff, And I know Star Wars might seem like a trivial example, but they did that with that. Like, every single hero had to be female. The female hero had to be better than Luke Skywalker ever was. She had to be seen to kick Luke Skywalker's ass.
Right.
She had no flaws at all. There was no arc. There was no character arc. She just was perfect from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And it's just boring.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah, I know it is kind of, and I'm not. If you read my books, I'm sort of all for the. Oh gosh, I don't even know. I don't even want to talk about that, but because I have a lot of female lead characters who are the hero.
Yeah.
But yet they do. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to get in trouble.
I think I know where you're going, and I think we think similarly. I think I know where you're going with this, and we are heroes. We are heroes in different ways. If I'm going to be a hero tomorrow, and so is Tanya, it's going to be. Well, it's in a different capacity. I mean, we're just because we happen to be different people. So I know what you're saying. I think I know what you're saying. So
there's enough room for all of us to be heroes, though. That's the whole issue.
Of course.
I mean, and
well
that's,
said.
That's
I like that.
The most beautiful part of being alive and a human being.
Exactly.
There's
like those bullies I was telling you about in the elementary school. They became heroes, and that was That was I was like, that felt so much better than being awful to people for them.
Yeah. When you could turn it around and turn it into something really good. It is beautiful, and it's something to be proud of.
We all want to see female heroes. There are female heroes, but if you're going to create a female hero character, make them real. A hero isn't someone that is born perfect and just remains perfect to the end of time.
Right.
That's
well,
not
then
real.
You can't be a hero then.
Exactly.
We are all flawed. Even the characters, everybody in the Bible, all of them are, except for
flawed, right?
They're all flawed. They do a bunch. Look at Noah. My son's name is Noah. I love the name, but Noah, after the ark and all that, he was drunk and naked in the streets. Just saying. Bloop. So I mean,
sounds like fun though.
Good times.
Did Jesus not have to battle with the kind of devil in the desert for a while to kind of sort some stuff out in his head? Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. From what I remember. Yeah, I think so.
And anger.
That's a good point, right? We all have our demons. We all have demons.
We all have our demons.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed to say it.
And some days more than other days. So some days and I think when we are sort of in our demons and in a bad place, we do need each other. We need somebody to say it's going to be okay, rather than get out of here. You don't belong here. Never come back. Yeah, it's going to be okay. We're here as a tribe. We're a tribe. We're people together, and we can get through this together, rather than you're banished for all time and and ashamed in front of everybody.
No, and that's exactly what we said on our group chat an hour before. Is like, this is the place where you should be able to feel like if you had a crappy day or something didn't go right, the group of people you're with do care about you, and they're not just blowing smoke.
Dude, it's wonderful.
That was a great live. That was a great live.
I was there. It was fantastic.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was so happy with the turnout. I'm happy everybody gave us a
Oh,
chance to
it was
redo
wonderful.
it. I
love that. And people were all, people were very kind in the comments.
Oh, they were great. Everybody
good people.
Any more welcoming.
So refreshing to see that, to see all that common sense.
I know, it was wonderful, and that's because people feel their voice matters, their opinion matters. They have a say in what we're going to provide, what content we want to even put out on the channel.
Sure.
You have to, if you want people to support you, you have to respect and support them. Or none of us are going to do it. Yeah.
Respect is the baseline, isn't it?
It has
to
start.
Huge.
It has to start with respect.
Someone needs to inform Kelly the advocate of that. That's where she should start, right? If she wants to be an advocate, right? She's not really an advocate, right? She's only an advocate for one family.
Yeah,
okay?
that's
So
not
just
it.
be
Yeah, that's
honest
not good.
about it.
Right.
Yeah, you have to, no
And I
matter what
question
you're
that.
advocating for, you have to be you're still a human at heart, and
Just
everyone should
course.
still be treated with respect.
And the Ruseks certainly do deserve to have an advocate in their corner, as the
Sure they
Watts
do.
do as well. And I think that, but the problem is that she's not advocating for them, you know, and I hate
Not
to say that about her.
really.
I think
I
she's
agree.
trying, but what she's doing is, you know, if the family says, again, I don't like people they're wearing, you know, then you don't go out and defend that belief. That is a flawed belief. That is something that the family, you know, has made up, and so they don't like red shoes. But as an advocate, you say, you know what, everybody wears red shoes. It's okay. They're not hurting Shanann. You know, that's what you do as an advocate, I would think. Again, like tell the emperor he has no clothes. That's
exactly.
what needs, you know, that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then advocate from there, like, you know, like, okay, well, some people think that there were more people involved in this. We know that you blame your brother-in-law, and a lot, you know, that's the official version. A lot of people do feel the way you do, but other people are going to continue to seek justice in a different way because it bothers them. They cared so much about your family that it bothers them that there may be loose ends, and we're going to look past that. It's not harassment. Tell them it's not harassment. That would be advocating truly for the family.
I absolutely underline everything you say there, right? And can I just give a quick example?
Sure.
Right?
Please do.
That I will probably be playing right into their hands here, right? Because this is the kind of thing this is the kind of thing they want to hear me say. Okay. Now I have to preamble everything I say now, right? I've got a long history of defending Shanann and her family.
Sure.
Okay? A long history, and I even did it on the 2 debates on Critical K that they're losing their minds over, right? They just forget that information, okay? It's only because I was on there that they have the problem. But the point I want to make, right, is in the past, I would never in a million years have considered seeing the Watts family, Cindy, Ronnie, and Jamie as being victims. It just didn't occur to me, okay, because I didn't like what they were saying. I was kind of disgusted at some of the things they said. But someone that's a lot wiser than me, her and I talk a lot, right? And I've come to evolve my opinions there, right? And they are, whether you like them or not, it's kind of like NK. They are still victims in this.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Now they're having to somehow come to terms with the fact that the son that they love is a monster, and they're most likely never going to see him in the outside ever again.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
absolutely.
How do you cope with that? Right?
Well, it's a universal tragedy for including us. We're talking about it. We all have,
so we can't even imagine their pain.
No,
and
it's outside of our realm.
To me, you have to at least, I mean, you can disagree and call out what they say or how they behave, right? But you have to be understanding and accept that the reason they're behaving that way is due to them being victims of a complete tragedy.
Yes.
You have to acknowledge that, or everything you say in support of the other side has no weight because your axiom is wrong.
Right.
Yes.
You know, your underlying foundation is flawed.
Yeah. Exactly. And as an advocate, you would talk to them about that and say, you know, honey, I think that you're going after the wrong enemy.
Yes.
The enemy is Chris Watts. He did this to your family. Let's try to get you comfort. Let's try to get you on with your grief. Let's try to get you involved in a constructive way to deal with your grief and your anger. And again, I keep bringing this up because, you know, people are mad at me for telling Frankie that, oh my gosh, you can be the next John Walsh or the next Mark Klass, and that, you know, if you save even one family, one woman and children, can that not help with your grief? Cannot that you know, that make you move forward? You know, but they got mad at me for saying that to Frankie, but that would be encouraging him to do all he can do to move mountains in name of his slain family.
It's doing something great with tragedy. That's great guidance. It's something you're suggesting something very, very positive for somebody who's going through a living hell. That for the grace of God go I. We don't understand that pain, but something can look. You can do good things out of tragedy. Often we are able to make changes.
That's why it becomes part of his sister and nieces and nephews' legacy.
Yes, that's right.
Exactly.
That's, and that I don't know if he has people telling him that. I don't, I feel like he's like a lost
and that
soul.
Would be a real advocate.
I really feel like he's a lost soul, and you see him on YouTube ranting like his posts are 6-7 paragraphs long. That's as a nurse, it's not healthy. You're mentally not in the right place. You're putting that out there,
I just worry that the wrong people are around him. And
I believe they are. I believe he's got a lot of people yesing him to death and saying that looks great. Yeah, put that up. That's perfect.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
The emperor has new clothes. Yeah.
The emperor. I love your analogy of the emperor's new clothes.
He's a mess. Then when you look at it, though, we can see it, but we're not the inner circle. We're not his inner circle.
Doesn't it seem more logical and sensible that if you are calling yourself an advocate, that you would not be using sort of hateful rhetoric, like almost ever? I just this goes against all things advocacy.
Yeah, no advocate uses any type of slang, hate speech. No, heck,
no, you can't do that.
And why is it wrong? Why is it wrong, guys, for your heart to go out to both sides? Like
exactly. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes.
There's nothing wrong with saying that. You feel I have empathy for both sides.
I do too. I think we all feel up here.
Yeah. In the end, they are all losers in the end. With the end result for all of them, no one will ever be the same. None of them is going to be a little bit happy. They're all losers.
And here we are 2 years later. We are talking about it because we are all the world was rocked on August 13th, 2018. It's interesting, if you don't mind. I was just thinking about the critical case situation, and I met her on Makeup Mobsters Live. I don't know, a year ago, and it was kind of a big deal. I came in there and had words with her, and they were good and hot and crazy. So she and I were able to go, this is what I think, and guess what, and we went at each other, and it became hostile, and I'm not proud of that, but in the end we were able to get back around to the other side, and like I was saying, and I think that even if I'm very different, I do believe we're very different kind of people, but that doesn't mean I can't say that's okay. We can skip together in life, and we can enjoy each other. There's something there. So I went to her and said, "Hey, I'm sorry that I treated you that way," and she loved it, because why not? Why not? I don't agree with so much of what she has to say, but I'm interested, and I'm going to want to have the conversation. I think the conversation is important, and I think if people are thinking that, let's talk about it. So what made you think that these things that you're saying? We live in a world, in a society, in a country particularly, and I'm sure Rabid Dog does too, but in that we are able to have conversations that we wrestle with, and we don't know the true answers, but we're able to say, but here's a thought, what if blah blah blah,
right,
and you're going to be safe in saying what if blah blah blah, because we're adults talking about something so foreign to our hearts and our minds, that we're trying to figure out something that maybe there is no solution to it.
Right. I think we are all looking for something that we can say, oh, that's why. And we're probably not. I can't imagine. It would be lovely if we could, but we're probably not. And we are, as humans, though, that's our nature. We want to know the why. Why did he do that?
Want to know
How did he do it? Did he do it? There's just so many questions. And like, so why can't we feel empathy for both families? We can.
Absolutely.
And I'm not embarrassed or afraid to say it.
Yeah, because it's not wrong to say that.
It isn't wrong. I mean, I think it would be awful as a human if I did say I don't feel a bit of, pain for Shanann's family, or that to me would be disgust.
Horrible.
You as a human, who would even want to put that out there? But there are channels lucratively exceeding their capacity, taking in more subscribers with all of this hate speech that some people are attracted to. It's their thing. It's their clique. Right. It's what they feel a part of. Then I'm just happy that we're in a whole other forum right here where we're sensible and rational, and even like what you said, if everybody has a little different opinion, none of us are screaming at each other right now, calling each other names, just hanging up and not going to happen. No.
And I'm sorry, and I said, well, gee, I had this run-in with her. I didn't say, hey, you big ugly jerk, nothing like that.
Right.
Nothing. Right, it would be ridiculous. However, she did say, I had no idea this was the first time I ever went on a YouTube live, and I was on the video camera in my pajamas the whole time for an hour with the video, with the phone up my nose practically, and who knows what I did that was totally inappropriate because I didn't know the camera was on. But she said to me, Critical K said to me, okay, you know what, whoever you are, Dana, a little bit, go to bed, take off your Coke bottle glasses. I was like, how does she know I have Coke bottle glasses? I had no idea. It was actually kind of funny. It's like, oh, you guys can see me? Oh, jeepers. And actually, in the end, I don't hate her at all. I like her a bunch, Critical K. And she and I love that she thinks, by the way. And I love that we can have a conversation and say, what a concept. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but what did you, and we might get heated. I don't see anything wrong with heat. I think heat is kind of fun in a conversation. But if in the end we're respectful, and there is a line of respect, and where we can say, well, guess what? I think the earth is flat. Well, I think you don't know what you're talking about. And we're going to get a little hot.
Yeah, we have to be, I think that's where we have to be careful. We can be passionate, but when we cross over into aggressive,
insulting, yes. Well, my Coke bottle glasses.
There's a fine line. Very fine
I didn't actually. I thought it was funny. The Coke. As a matter of fact, I named my next live Coke bottle glasses here, right there. Here to stay.
That is my worst nightmare. Would be not knowing I'm on camera and I'm like sitting in my room and hair up, glasses on, in a towel. Like it
yes,
be good.
Yes. It happened again the other night too. So I'm a dork. There you go.
Oh my god.
So yeah, actually, I think there's humor in it in the end because it turns out that we all have pajamas. Well, I should hope, but anyway, you get it. And I do have Coke bottle glasses, and they're cute. So I'm. My point is, we're cute as is. Doesn't matter. I'm a woman in my 50s, and I wear glasses, and I, and
you wear pajamas.
That's right, I do.
It's okay. We accept you.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys are the best. I knew it was safe here.
We are pretty good.
We are good people. I know. And so, and again, it goes back to, here's an interesting thought. I really don't know what any one of you up here on panel believes about the Watts case, what you believe is the final conclusion, and that's okay. And if you were to tell me that, again, that, aliens came down and kidnapped the family and dropped them, but, I would not say, oh, wow, you are hurting those Ruseks, and I will never speak to you again. No, none of us would do that.
No, heck no. Yeah, I'm going to be honest and tell you, I still don't know where I stand on that case.
Sure.
It has me so confused. I swear to you, from 6 months ago to right now, I've changed, my theories, my thoughts, my attitudes about whatever, at least 20 times. I don't now know where I even stand.
Sure, and that's fine.
I really don't.
Absolutely fine, right.
Well, and that's very truthful, and that's important. And by the way, we're mentioning flip-flop real quickly. Mama Bear, I do not run that group, but I do pop in the Facebook groups often. I do have a YouTube channel, but it should get better back into more things about psychology. All right.
Yeah.
But you guys are talking about flip-flopping, and I thought to myself, why is that such an issue? What if I am a flip-flopper? What if I go, I don't know. Maybe the world is.
I know. Yeah. I found that when Cher had said they call her flip-flopper, I'm like, do you mean because you changed your mind a few times?
Right.
She said yes.
We tell people, so we tell people to be that.
Don't we all do that even just in our daily day-to-day? Sometimes
we encourage it. We encourage open-mindedness.
Yeah.
We say have an open mind. Let's think about it a different way. What do you think of this possibility?
Yeah.
And none of us were there. Nobody but Chris Watts. Nobody else is alive. So we don't. So we're going to say, oh my gosh, what if we're doing that with everything?
Baffling.
It's baffling, but we do that with evolution versus, we're always talking about, what do you guys think? I don't know. Some people are more sort of adamant, like, don't ever talk about evolution.
Right.
But I mean,
politics or whatever.
For answers. As humans, we are searching for answers.
We're searching.
And that is great.
It's great.
When we stop is when it's
boring.
Good.
It's not good.
Let's not go there. We always want to keep going, but we got to do it in a good way and not. We're killing, we are just there. I can't believe the way people are just trying to kill each other with words.
Oh, it's disgusting. Well, and interesting.
I won't have it. I won't never ever let that on any channel I represent. I can't. I just can't. I didn't sleep all night last night because of that silly and ridiculous incident that happened.
Oh, I'm sure.
Only because I thought I had just said that we were the platform against all the things that ended up happening and coming out of that person's mouth. So when against every single thing I had just told the group that we were going to not allow, and it made me. It drove me crazy all night. I went from sad to angry to hurt, and then I thought, you know what? It's not about me. That person did that for whatever reason. I'm not going to ask that for now. Whatever. This is our channel. We can control who we allow in our chats.
Right.
And it's, if you can't be respectful, you can't be here. And I don't want to talk about him or her. I don't know either of them even well enough. I just didn't like the fact that it was even brought on my channel, and that he took over so quickly that I didn't even have a chance to think what's going on right now. Like I really didn't. And by the time Cher just cut the chat, people were already texting me, get that off. And I'm like, I'm not controlling anything, but who is it? Like I didn't really know who it was, but that is how quickly we are accessible to then me just hopping right now on here with you, Tanya. And if you didn't really know me and I was a cook and I just started rattling off insanity.
Oh, I love you. Yeah.
But it's your channel, and you go home then and you think, ugh, yuck, that was ugly tonight.
And Dorothy, I wanted to point out this comment she made about Calming the Chaos and Dr. B. They should get together and even do, a private messaging chat, through Messenger audio or whatever. Because again, I think both ladies are very similar, and they would certainly get along, and everything would be resolved. Dorothy, that you are the voice of reason there.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that idea.
And I think that, even Cher in the beginning, she said, oh, no, I don't like Dr. B. And I said, okay, we'll give her a chance, And
you know what? I have not met her yet. And she was the first true crime channel I watched and got hooked. Because I thought she was brilliant. I really loved her, the way she put out her content and the format. And I still have yet to meet her. And so that's a goal. Yeah, Dr. B.
Oh yeah, I mean, just drop by one of her lives or whatever.
I definitely have to. I think she
Cher and
Dr. for a little bit.
I think she was I was on there last week.
I have
on
to
her
make
panel.
sure that I put on alerts. Although the YouTube alerts, they haven't been always coming through. But yeah, I'm going to make it a point because I respect her. I think she's brilliant.
Oh, she's a lovely person too, and I think that I was going to say something important, and I can't even remember. We lost someone. We lost Dana.
Oh goodness!
I'm going to paste you up there. I'm going to paste up the chat link again, or I'm sorry, the panel link again. But yeah, a lot of time, and I don't think that it's okay to talk badly about anyone. I wouldn't even. And I also wanted to talk about my challenge. It turned out that Save Robbie had given out the same challenge a year or so before I did that. It's called the Save Robbie Challenge, but it's so funny. I saw that on his show a couple days later, and we laughed about it. But my challenge is for all creators to say 3 nice things about other creators who they may have had a scuffle with in the past. And I did it, and then the day after I did it, one of the people who I said kind things about went and made a video about me, whatever, being, she called it a parody, but it's more mocking, which is sad. I mean, why can't people, YouTubers just say something, 3 nice things about 3 people that have, they've had a scuffle with, or they just don't like, or not even that, that don't like them.
Wow.
And no one's taken my challenge. They only made fun of it. But again, it was Save Robbie's challenge first, and I didn't know that he had done that. But
and that's okay. He wouldn't mind. Robbie's so laid back.
Oh, I love Robbie.
I know.
Yeah.
He's got
adorable.
A good channel. He's got a good channel too. Him and
he's
Mekcee,
so funny.
they're just fun.
Oh
they're
my
fun.
goodness, he's so funny.
And that's what you want. That's what social media should
be.
Fun and entertaining. Not horrifying.
Yes, exactly.
Afraid to come on because you don't know what people are going to start saying. That's terrible. We can't do that. I mean, I know I'll never be a part of it. I'm sure, people will put me into their narrative however they want.
They will now.
And I can't control it. And the good thing about it is that I don't really look now. I'm so busy. I don't look at even any other pages' comments. And I think that's probably best.
But people tell you.
I'm thinking about your challenge, Tanya.
I love that
challenge. Yeah, thank you.
I love that challenge.
So if I was to do that for Kelly, I'm honestly struggling.
Oh gosh!
Sorry.
Oh no!
I'm genuinely struggling.
No, I even brought her up and said 3 nice things about her. I think I can do it again, of course, because I think she's a very nice lady underneath it all. That's one. She reminds me a lot of myself, beyond the true crime stuff. I think I'd be great friends with her if we were allowed to meet. And
she's got nice hair. She's got nice hair.
Yeah, she does. That's a good thing. I love her hair.
Hair is
oh my gosh.
Important. It is so important to have good
It's
hair.
everything, isn't it, guys?
Yeah. I usually
have
pick
crappy
my
hair
friends
too.
by their hair. If it's good hair.
I do too. I
hair,
agree.
right?
I'm with you.
That's how I pick my
if
friends.
you don't, how could you trust them without good hair? I mean, come on,
You
guys.
can't.
I know, right?
If someone does not have good hair, they are not a good person.
It's for
That's
sure.
right.
I mean, come on.
She's got a really good high-functioning microphone.
There you go.
That's true. Terrific microphone.
That is good. Though. That's good to know. So she's got high-tech equipment. Okay.
Yes.
She does her research when it comes to technology.
Good.
Obviously, I'm being mischievous, so guys. I'm just having a bit of fun. Okay?
Yeah, you know what? But you came up with 3 things. You tried.
Tried.
That's okay. Let's do that, and we could still laugh. And you did not say anything evil or hateful.
No. Did I bash? Is that would that fall under the term bashing? I don't know.
No, that's what I said.
No,
you
heck
didn't.
no.
You actually really said just 3 facts, and
yes.
one of them was that none of them were anything hateful, hurtful,
not
exactly.
I appreciate your support.
And mean that, and that's what we have to do. Even that, we're still having fun, and even if we're not going to get along with everybody, but we also don't have to let everybody know who we don't like. Like you
exactly.
Might
not, why would you do that?
Yeah, we don't want to do that. That's when the trouble really starts. But
and Kellyanne, you went on Robbie's tonight.
Oh, I love Kelly.
Oh, sorry, we had a delay. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you. There was a little bit of a drop.
You went on.
Yeah, and Kelly, if you can get over to Robbie and tell him I'm live now if he wants to hop over here. I told him next time to jump on here, but I think that he doesn't know I'm alive here today. Or anybody who can do that would be cool, because we love Robbie, of course we do.
He's such a sweetie pie, isn't he, guys?
He's adorable. Oh my gosh.
I have issue with the word like, so just bear me out for a second, because I think I like tacos. Just saying, and I like chocolate chip cookies. I love them. But even the word love, they're confusing. When I'm angry at a person, it's usually sort of I'm hurt. There's some injury, and I can't get over that hurt yet because it's not resolved yet. I don't know how to get over that sort of hump. And I don't know that I dislike the person. I dislike the behavior and the sort of the choices they've made during that time. But I do believe that everybody has hope. Everybody, maybe not Chris Watts. I don't know, but the rest of us do. You know, we can really, because look, Rabid Dog and I met Kelly around the same time on my channel, and she was lovely, you know, and
great conversation.
Right. So the only time I've seen otherwise was the way she treated my friend Rabid Dog, and then she treated me disgustingly yesterday, and so then I punched her in the nose, and we're all good. We're not good. But the point is, it doesn't mean I don't like the person. She hurt me. She hurt my friend Rabid Dog. She's hurt, and I don't. So I'm conflicted over what it even means to like a person. I like tacos. I just do. They're good, but they're always going to be.
That's a great point, Dana. That's a great point. I mean, I don't dislike Kelly. I just dislike how she behaves and the things she says. Right? That's it.
Right. But if you were to meet her, you know, in the grocery store, and you'd have a talk over, you know, lemons or whatever, you may very, you know, or tacos, you may, there would be no problem. And that's what I'm saying is we're all so similar. And, you know, again, I like Kelly. I like what's ironic is every single creator who hates me, I go and laugh at them when they're talking with their friend, laugh with them, you know, because they're actually normal people underneath, you know, their opinions about the Watts case rather. And I don't I don't, again, Rabid, I don't think that you and Kelly would meet each other in the store or at a restaurant and, you know, yell at each other.
Well, tomatoes at each other, they wouldn't do that.
Exactly. And that's the problem, is that I think that we're behind our computers here, and it's easy to be cruel to random, you know, people. Because they're not real. They're not real.
They're not real.
This is going to sound so negative again, right? But I really suspect it's because Kelly doesn't really care about understanding other people or listening. Okay, she's so zoned in and tunnel visioned on one particular thing that it blinds her to just having a bit of humility, right? And being reasonable and doing a good job, right?
In order to do a good job, you do have to be reasonable.
Because she's got responsibility there, right?
Absolutely, I mean, she has responsibility.
Major.
She's not a channel like me. I can pretty much say what I want, right? As long as within reason, guys, right?
Right.
But if I was advocating for any family, right, to me that would be a huge thing to take serious.
Yes, it is huge. It is. You're right, and that's unfortunate. Then, if it's not the advocate part of it isn't really happening.
Exactly, and you know, look, I've worked with gang members. I used to work at a school that was that's how I became a therapist. I started working at a school for kids who were. Remember, I said to you guys, I worked with this kid. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I worked at a group home. Kind of all right. So. Yeah, I was in my 20s, that's when it started. But I worked with gang members, and when the new kid would come into the school, they were in group homes, and they were hardcore gang members. A new person would come in, and these guys, their whole body language would change. These teenage gang members, and they would go over to the new guy and go, "Where are you from?" And this kind of like very foreign to me. It was very, and I'd be like, "Stop it! Stop! Don't you do that to your new, you know." Schoolmate, I mean, seriously, I did do that. Like, Miss, stop it, get out of here, because it was getting dicey. In reality, they didn't hate each other. They hated what it's really primitive. It's I'm in this camp, you're in that camp. I'm in this country, you're in that country. I'm on this football team, you're on that football team, or I'm from this neighborhood. And I think what gets lost in this sort of milieu is all this. So if Kelly was offensive to Rabid Dog and to me on these particular days, that I think it would behoove all of us to say, well, she was those days. Let's see what comes next, because we don't know. If I have hope, if I have the hope for Critical K the day she glasses thing, and I wasn't, because I could have gotten real butthurt about all that, but I hope that we can go, let's try again, and hope that maybe we can do that and have this sort of redirection. I don't necessarily. I wouldn't place a bet on it. Okay. Right. Because I mean, if I were a good gambler, but I'm still going to have that hope that we can reach something. If for an advocacy, that's what I think it is. We're gonna be okay, even though you're from that hood, that neighborhood, and I'm from this one. Look, we're doing swimmingly.
Right, and I think that the term advocate, again, is not defined as being a bodyguard.
Right.
I think advocate is more defined as doing something to directly help and soothe a victim or a victim's family.
Yes.
To give them strength to be their best selves rather than
encouraging hate. Oh, guess who said bad things about you guys? So we're here to beat them up for you. Well, no, let's probably not the best idea, because it all started with violence. Really, that's where it started.
Yeah.
And so let's get away from the violence and find each other. Let's get out of the hatred.
Yes.
It starts with hate. It started with hate. And so we're going to continue on that realm. Hate is kind of it's terrible. It never bears good fruit. Never.
No, not at all. And it never leads anywhere. You're constructive. You're right. There's nothing. Why not stop? Why not? I mean, people like Kelly. And again, I wish her the best. I think she's a nice lady, but she can't see. Sure. Yeah, I mean, she loves her children. She has a great personality. And here I'm going on with more things to say nice about her. Mm-hmm. But I think that she needs to stop the hatred. You don't need to hate me because I think the Watts family are wonderful too. You don't need to hate me because Cher is my friend. Cher's a lovely person.
I got in trouble for being friends with Cher too. I just met Cher.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to be friends with people. How about that?
Yes.
I'm going to befriend a lot of people that stand up for things that you would never even imagine. I mean, the fact that I worked with gang members and said, "I love you guys. Let's have a hug." Because why not? I did.
Exactly.
I loved them.
They're people. They're children. They're human beings, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I remember.
You prove me wrong. I'm going to be your friend if I think you're cool.
Absolutely.
Yes. Exactly.
Right? Until proven otherwise, I just think it's so much easier to just get along. It really is.
It's great.
Right.
I mean, it really is. It's grace. It's saying, look, you really pissed me off on that particular day, and I'm gonna from now on, I'm gonna hold a grudge. Or let's reconvene and see if maybe we bumped heads. And I was part of the catastrophe with Critical K, for example. Certainly, I was. I came in hot-headed, and I'm good at hot-headed. I can do it. Yeah.
I'm
not.
Yes, I know. Hello.
You do it well, though.
Yeah,
you do it well.
I do. When I am good at it, I'll tell you. It's
awesome.
like this, I'm half Irish. My mother say, "Well, here comes the Irish Spitfire in her," because my mother's the Irish, and here she comes.
Oh, how funny!
Yeah, and I'd be like, "Yeah, and everybody stop being bullies to that one person, and I'm gonna stop you guys with my, tiny physique." And that's right.
I am not. I can enjoy a good dust up. Like I like to have it out just in words, but there's a way to do it, right? I mean, I wouldn't scream, shout, swear necessarily, right? But it might come across as really confrontational and edgy, right? But I don't really mind that. But I don't look and hunt it out.
I like edgy.
No, I know. Yeah. Exactly. And it doesn't matter. I mean, Kelly isn't a practicing advocate. Yeah, exactly. But I think that you can be an advocate. I could be an advocate for my neighbor and help them get through a tragedy or something like that. But I certainly wouldn't. Who's that? We have that paper crackling. Is that me? Hold on. Was that me or is that somebody else?
Definitely not me.
Yeah. Oh, that Rosemary, it was you. You.
That's it. You're banished. You're banished.
That's it. You know what? I really like this Rosemary, but all of a sudden it turns out she's a crackler, and we've got to put an end to that.
You just start bashing the cracklers.
Unacceptable, and ban her for all time. Okay.
Yes.
So good.
But I'm flushing the toilet.
Oh, now she's doing that. Of course. Now we knew it. We knew it was coming.
I'm going on mute.
Forever condemned. Forever condemned. I will listen to nothing more you ever say.
Never return to Tanya's
channel. Out with her. Yeah, you hung out with her
the
other day. So
that's right. Okay, fine. I'm with Rosemary. Goodbye.
Me or you're against me.
I'm against you. I'm with Rosemary, and you're right. You figured me out.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
I can't be seen to be on a panel with a crackler because birds of a feather flock together, right?
Have you researched them, those cracklers? Have you researched them?
Gosh. I'm going to go the worst ever,
You know what?
Right?
You know what's weird is this crackle just started when you guys started talking about whoever that person was you were just talking about.
Oh no!
So she says, guys. So she says, we're just saying.
Bad crackle. It's like it is insane. I may need a new phone. This just started out of nowhere.
We accept you, crackle and all, Rosemary. We accept you, crackle and all. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this together.
Figure it out, but sorry. I'm here. I'm still listening, but I'm.
I love that you guys are so human. I love that you guys are like you get that, because I never have this conversation with people on YouTube.
No, exactly.
And let's make this my first scandal. Rosemary's on crack.
There we go.
Rosemary's on crack. Her phone and they're both on crack.
Oh, how funny. Basic B with a sunflower.
I'm gonna mute it. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doubling over your voice again. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I just blurt out stuff, but she's saying that I think the Watts saying Shanann is doing, I'm not sure how that is meant to be. I think you missed a word, but that's okay. Is really harmful for the R's to hear. I agree. I believe, I think that when Cindy was interviewed, she was asked pointed questions like, tell me about the Nutgate or whatever. And I think that any family members who have passed, we would talk about the bad things or the conflicts that we had with them. I think that's being a human being. And I know that the Ruseks don't understand that. But I think that even, God forbid, if Frankie were to pass away, I think his mom and dad would say things like, boy, he was hot-headed, things like that. And there's nothing different with Cindy saying things like that about Shanann.
Mm-hmm.
And she's telling how Shanann was human and how their relationship was as human beings.
Shanann said that. Shanann said it.
She did.
Yes. Hello.
Right.
I'm going to tell you guys I get feisty and I'm a dork sometimes. It's okay.
Yes.
I'm still lovable.
Yeah, and I've always, and I will continue to always find Shanann really endearing, despite what I've had to accept as some flaws. Underneath it all, I see a good person there, right?
Because she's so human. She's so wonderfully human, right? And we get her. We all get her. We have a friend like Shanann, or we've known, and it's not like she's like, wait a minute, this is bizarre behavior. No, this is what we see in people. This is what people do.
Exactly, and we've all had a friend like Shanann, and we recognized her as being a very familiar person. And I think, but then again, a friend I had like her had these flaws, and then Shanann had these flaws, and I think, but that's okay. You can talk about the kid. Or Bella, she was sure, she misbehaved all the time. It was so cute, whatever. And that's something I made up. But you can, that's not talking badly about the victims. That's simply going over their human personalities and saying they had these traits that are good as well as these traits that were bad. I think Cindy is such a nice lady. I know that she would not bash, quote unquote, the people, Shanann. Yeah, I don't think that at all. But I think, let's see here. Cindy Watts comes from a place of hate towards Shanann. I think it's very different when it's coming from Cindy. Maybe I don't know, but and of course the Watts family are going to support their son if there's any chance in heaven or heck, that he could be given an appeal and could be, have his sentence reduced, even though they understand the horrible act that he did was horrible and took away their grandchildren. My God, I think that because he is their son, they still want him to reform and give him some life back outside of the prison. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that, I'm not his mother.
Can I say something,
Sure.
Tanya? Now, I have to be fair about what I believe, right? And my perception, from all the things I've heard, is that I believe that Cindy knows that Chris did what he did. And I believe she's also really closely linked to some of these, to this particular channel that's come out recently. And I think she's knowledgeable about some manipulation that may be going on to try and portray a falsehood with only one outcome in mind, which is to get Chris out. Okay, but I can say that, but still say that I understand that she's a victim, right? And that is going to mess up your head.
That's
and
right.
she still loves. It's hard as some people will hear this. She still loves Chris.
Right.
Okay, that's not going to go away.
No,
okay?
Love doesn't go away.
Right? And so when people are in that situation, thank God I've never been in that situation.
Right.
But like just trying to put myself in her shoes, I'm trying to imagine, because I've got kids.
I do too.
What would it do to me? You know, like how would I deceive my own rationality to just try to recover her son, right? Whether it's on the outside or not, or whether it's just somehow to get closer to him again, right? It's gonna pollute her, as I say, her rationality. But I understand it. But I also have to be fair, and I think there's a lot of manipulation going on, you know, from the what side of things, which I don't like. Okay, but I understand.
Well, we've seen it. Even when Chris was being interrogated, and they said, "Well, any chance that she did something to the kids?" He just, of course, is going to manipulate. He's the murderer. And then he went, "Yeah, that's what happened." And we all kind of went, "Oh gosh, come on." And then some people went, "Oh, well, maybe he's not." So listen, we're going to do that. We are, I wanted to say this real quick because it came to my mind. My son just turned 22, and he's studying the Torah, the Bible, and he told me, I never knew this, that the word Israel means to wrestle with God. And I'm not saying this is religious. Yeah, I never knew that. I know. And so as Jews, we are supposed to say, I don't know. Why did this happen? And I don't know if I want to believe this, and let's talk about it, and let's keep talking about it, because that's where knowledge comes from. That's where we learn, is by kind of going, yeah, but I don't understand this. And you're encouraged to wrestle with God. I believe we're encouraged to wrestle with this tragedy, because we are all growing. Listen, Cindy Watts and Amy Langham is saying terrifically wonderful things, I think, and a lot of people in chat. Dorothy, I'm reading your statements, and I so wish I could respond to them. But I do think that, of course, Cindy Watts is in a state of something we can't grasp.
Yes.
She's in a state of survival. We've never been there.
Yep.
And for us to say, did you notice how she behaved she's in tragedy, and she'll never come out, right? I mean, if we're being completely, so we are not her judge. Her behaviors she's in a place of hell, and she's living it in front of all of us.
Yep.
So who are we to throw stones?
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just tragic all around, isn't it?
It's all around tragic, and we all have mother-in-laws. Well, not all of us, but I mean, I used to.
But, and I love my mother-in-law. I was lucky to get a good one, a really nice one.
Yes,
and
exactly.
that that's rare, though.
Right. I mean, but the point is, we as human beings, if we have a real relationship, spouses, mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, fathers and daughters,
we're gonna argue,
we do all the time. We rub each other the wrong way on, and then afterwards, there's this understanding once again, and we reunite, and we know that because we're in a relationship, we're signing up for that. We're saying yes to it, that we're going to have strife. That's part of the nature of relationships. It's one of the beauties that we come back around and say, I love you. I love you even though you stepped on my toe on purpose, whatever. It's okay. We can find each other again.
And I think even if we look at, Casey Anthony's parents, Cindy Anthony is Cindy Anthony is very much on her daughter's side. Wholly believes that the baby drowned and whatever.
Yes.
Whereas George Anthony will not speak to his daughter.
Right.
And Cindy, even I think that she what is it called? Perjured herself or whatever on when she was in up on the stand, and she lied and said she's the one who searched for chloroform or for whatever it's called.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, because she loves her daughter that much.
She's a mother.
Yes,
and we are not here to throw stones at her. We're here to say, oh gosh, there but for the grace of God go I. Yes. And I'm not in her shoes. So if I'm seeing you struggle while you're in this hell, I'm here to say, I'm here for you. I'm going to put my arm around you in the best way I can and say, I'm here for you, even if I don't understand what in the heck you're acting this way for, but I know you're hurting, and that's enough for me to know. It's all I need to know.
Exactly. And I think that, my mother and I watched a movie over the weekend. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure, where a teenage girl, actually she said she pushed her best friend into the water, rushed over a bridge, whatever, and the kid died. They couldn't find the kid, whatever. So these parents covered up for her and ended up killing someone to keep the cover up. And it turned out the two girls were involved in just a big hoax, and they were both alive and well. And yeah, I forget the name of that, but the movie, it was really, very.
Tanya.
Yeah.
What other types of books have you written? Has it all been around true crime? I know this one is fiction, isn't it? But it's obviously
this is the first true crime case that I really attacked. But I'm all over the board, honestly. I've done dystopia, I've done horror, I've done a narrative nonfiction, basically a biography of a lovely lady, from Grey Gardens. So I'm literally I've done. I did write one other murder story that was it's actually a little novella. And yeah, it's called, what is the name of it? Oh my gosh, isn't that awful? Oh, it proves that I'm not the real author. I can't remember.
We knew it. Tanya, we knew it all along. We just were going to say it was, whatever. She's a fake.
I
know.
Someone will be splicing this video as we speak.
Yes, I know, right?
Just that one thing you said will be enough for them to go, see, I told you. She's not really enough. She said it's out of her own mouth.
Yeah. I won.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. But no, it's called Severed, and it's about a female serial killer, but all my books have a twist ending, always.
I love that.
Yeah, every book I've ever, including No Inclination, it has a bit of a twist ending, and a little bit of justice for everyone involved. But whatever. Yeah, so I'm
going to read that book real soon. I'm in the middle of studying for a huge exam, but I will do that promptly afterwards.
Thank you.
That Grey Garden documentary was fascinating.
Isn't it though? I know. Oh my God.
I've watched it so many times.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And
so interesting.
I wrote the book with Lois Wright, who was in Grey Gardens in the documentary. She was one of the party guests, but that's not who she was. She was more than that. She was actually possibly the third Bouvier sister.
Oh my God!
Yeah, she was told that her dad was Black Jack Bouvier, and I've got photos of Jackie and her where they're twins, and I've got photos of Lois where she looks just like Lee. So that's the big, the big thing that comes. She was very likely a Bouvier sister, and she kept her mouth shut about the whole thing. So it's a fascinating story to read her life story. She's going to be 93 in July, and she's doing great right now. But yeah, that was really.
I need to watch that again.
Don't they talk so similarly, Jacqueline and I can't remember her name right now. The daughter in Grey Gardens, but
Edie. Yes, they had very similar accent. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And just even the sort of affect and their kind of breathy voice.
Yes, exactly. Well, Edie faked that voice, and I think that Jacqueline did too.
I bet you're right.
Sort of that Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah. Oh, that kind of. Yeah. Yep.
I know. That was funny. Yeah.
Can I just poke with some questions, because I've always been fascinated by writers and just the whole concept of writing.
Of course.
How do you approach a book like that, right? Do you start with maybe just some topic headings for each chapter and dissect it that way? No?
No, heck no. Well, for Lois's story, I had to get put up chapter titles or whatever, because I submitted it to agents, and within 4 hours of submitting it to agents, I had 2 agents fighting over the book, which was cool, but I ended up firing my agent, long story. But I had to divide it into chapters and title each chapter, because you have to produce what's called oh my gosh, what is it called? Oh dear, I'm losing my mind tonight.
I do that all the time.
Proposal. It's a proposal you submit to agents. But normally when I write a book, I have no notes. I don't do anything like that. Never. But with Lois, what we did was I went to Virginia to visit her family, where they had all of Lois's documents and all of her diaries and everything. And then I went to visit Lois a couple times, and mostly Lois and I did it over the phone, literally. She would answer questions, and then I would turn it into a chapter, and then I would read her the chapter because she doesn't do the internet. She doesn't do, computers at all. And then I would send it off, the reading of the chapter to Lois. I would send that in an audio file to her family. And we all three had to agree before we moved on to the next chapter. So that's sort of how I did that one. And yeah, Cher and I are working on a book for Angela Cannon right now with Angela, where we're doing the same format, sort of with how we're, Cher is kind enough to record Angela talking, and then she sends it to me and I turn it into a book, basically, which is kind of how I did the Lois book. But yeah, I don't plan, I don't plot, I don't do any of that. It's all in my head, in my head. Yeah.
Would you say that's the kind of rare approach, in that circle? Do most writers obviously kind of scope it all out and have their kind of chapters in their head?
I think a lot of writers do, but whenever I ask, people in my publishing house, are you a plotter or a pantser, running on the seat of your pants like I do? I think that it's kind of 50-50 split. All I know is Stephen King writes exactly like I do with that. He tells he tells aspiring writers to throw out that notebook. There is no use for that notebook, and I love that.
Stephen King sometimes gets unfairly labeled as just being under the horror bracket, but he is a fantastic, actually fantastic writer in its own sense of the word. And that book, the book that he wrote, Misery, obviously they got turned into that big film.
Oh, what a scary book. Yes, I know exactly how that poor guy felt.
Yeah, and that book is incredible, the way that's written, all the illusions and how he describes the pain, the kind of tidal aspect of the pain coming and going and everything, Oh,
definitely. Yeah, I love Stephen King. I was reading him when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and which is creepy. My teachers thought I was nuts, and my daughter started reading him at like 9 as well. And again, they thought that it was crazy. But I love Stephen King, and so whatever he says, I found out much later when I already had 3 or so books that Stephen King recommends throwing out your notebooks too. But I literally, I will read the story to myself in my head a lot of times when I'm driving to and from my mother's house, and then I get home and I write it. And a lot of times I'll know the ending already, so I'll rush ahead and write the ending, and then I'll make the rest of the book fit into the ending, or I'll alter the ending later to fit what happened in the book. But yeah, I'm nuts. I'm really weird with writing, but I get it all done. So I guess
great. So creative, so wonderfully creative. I love that how you're telling how the process works for you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's interesting, but I'm going to add this person here. Okay. I don't like the title of your whoever you are.
Oh,
there's the toilet again. Are you like 12? I really. Can you imagine an adult doing that?
No.
Can you
I didn't see what happened though.
You didn't see the name.
I put them up and they flushed the toilet again.
And they have the name was something like something. See you next Tuesday. Get it?
Yeah.
And
I think that's funny because either the person has a recording of a toilet flushing, or he's actually sitting on a toilet flushing it over and over again. I bet his mother is going to come in and say, it's dinner time. Come out of the bathroom.
That's right. That's right.
What are you doing in there for hours? What's going on?
Isn't that amazing what people do for kids?
Yeah, that is funny. And I don't know how they're thinking that they're insulting us by flushing a toilet. I think we've all got, several toilets in our houses,
Providing some humor. Thanks.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Oh, Tanya, don't yell. I will never yell at you, but I hate reading. Oh, that's too bad. I can't sit and concentrate to read a book. My son is a huge reader, and he's read most of it. Oh, good. But yeah, Dorothy, that's fine. I've always been a reader my entire life.
Audiobooks are a good way to go as well.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Especially for people who have some difficulty with concentration.
Sure.
I'm a reader, but I do know that I do love some Audible books too. Especially in the car, going for a long drive and you've got this terrific book on, and it's really good experience.
I love that too. Yeah, lately I literally listen to YouTube. People, I treat it as a podcast as I'm driving, and
me too. I'm so glad you said that, because I do feel like the weirdo in my family, and they're all like, "Well, she's on YouTube again," and
I know.
I don't. And then we had that YouTube went down. Do you remember a few days ago? Like YouTube went down. My daughter said a prayer. Like, isn't that great? Mom's not going to be on YouTube.
Yes. Because my daughter gets mad at me too. I know.
And I'm like, you don't understand. And I'm having a social life. You should be proud for mommy.
Yes, exactly right.
See, YouTube is the new television.
Yes,
it really is.
You're right.
We're still going through the process of switching over from old media to this media.
You're right.
And a lot of people have just caught onto it a lot quicker and get almost all of their entertainment through YouTube. It's interesting.
Oh, I have
it's true.
A PDF that's freaking downloaded in an app. Is that my book, Dorothy? I know I gave out a bunch of PDFs the other day, and I told everybody go ahead and share it. I don't care, whatever. I'm not doing this for the money. But if you don't have my PDF, Dorothy, let me know, and I could certainly send that to you. You could, if you want to do it. But that might be my book you're talking about, so I do not know. But yeah.
Tanya, are you? I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you familiar? So there's I think one of the stories that got me, I was in college and I read the book Fatal Vision, which about Dr. Jeffrey McDonald.
Yes,
same exact story. He killed his pregnant wife and 2 little girls.
Right.
And so I was reading the book, and then the movie came out on TV, and it was actually a really, really good movie, made for TV movie.
Sure.
But the author of the book, Joe McGinnis, wrote the book, and the book is great. You have all the transcripts. You're kind of like you hearing Dr. Jeffrey McDonald speak. It's just so raw. But he was sued after the fact, and I do believe he lost, because he was hired by Jeffrey McDonald to write the story. But he, unbeknownst to Dr. Jeffrey McDonald, saw him as guilty, and so went with that. And by the way, I do too, but he was like,
sure.
Guess what? I got really close to this guy and he told me everything. And this is what happened. And it's shocking. And so it's a very, very interesting podcast they have about, I think Joe McGinnis is a fantastic author, but it was such a interesting kind of twist of events with writers. Are you allowed to have an opinion? Are you allowed to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it was really, you should check out this podcast. My brother told me about it. So it's because I'm true crime, for whatever reason, freak. Yeah. And
I am too.
I know, I can tell. Yes.
There are many of us out there.
Yeah, I know there
guys,
are.
we're freaks. But anyway, check it out.
Weird.
Yeah. We are weird. There's just that. So, and it's really wonderful actually to have found my weirdos, my kind of weirdos. Because I don't meet them I don't meet people. I never meet. If I say I'm interested in true crime, I don't really like the fake crime as much, because if it's true, then like my head, people are like, hey, she's kind of creepy, but she's.
I've been into it literally since Adam Walsh died and I was a kid. And then I went into the John Bonet case when I was, a young adult or whatever. And I think that was where I really started, going through the forums. And it's funny because I've met people who used to be on like the Websleuths. I had Tricia Griffith. Oh my gosh, I was totally fangirling to have her on here. She's the owner of Websleuths, and she remembered.
Oh, did you have her on? Fantastic.
Yeah.
How fun.
Great. She's great.
And, back then I was Wolfmar's girl. I don't know if anybody remembered, but a few people have remembered me. And there's a lady who actually doesn't like me out there, but I remember her from Websleuths. And if you're sitting there listening to me right now and want to put ugly comments below, that's fine. But I was Wolfmar's girl, and I think we got along very, very well back then. We were talking about John Bonet, and then, Scott, what's his name, Peterson, and then about Kaylee Anthony case. So I got along with these people very well in those forums, but it's weird that I see them now hating me. I don't
know
why.
It is so weird. I get
Isn't
it though.
That weird?
Yeah, people you were buddying with, your pals, and I get it. It's happened to me too. I'm like, what? We used to be crazy about each other. What did I say wrong? When did I do the bad thing that now you hate my guts?
I know. And the bad thing certainly will be talking to me or talking to Cher, talking to Rabid. Those are going to be bad things.
It's okay. Yeah. I'd rather take it. I'd rather take it because it's obviously not bad. But if some wish to see it and label it as such, then so be it. Then we've got each other, us weirdos, and we're gonna be okay. And
exactly.
Do you know what I think it is? And I mentioned this earlier. I do believe people think like light switches, right, on or off.
Right.
Yes.
And I think once they take a stand and come out against someone like me or you, Dana, whatever, or Tanya, they need you to be that person, right?
Yes, they need you to be that person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if anything comes up that might go against that presupposition they have, they can't listen to it because
they can't.
They'll lose their argument, right? If they accept that you're not this bad, evil person, you know?
Correct.
Yes.
And then,
it's so childish.
Yeah, you have to be a character, and that's what I used to say about when the Grey Gardens people bullied me. One of my girlfriends who used to be a bully to me, and now she's a very, very close friend of mine because I showed her all the proof, or whatever you want to call it, of everything I was saying. And but she said that people used to, call me Cruella de Vil, or they turn you into a Disney character, literally a Disney villain.
A cartoon. Yeah.
And I can't believe it, but because you have to be a one-dimensional character for them to be able to hate you.
It's so much easier. Yes. You're one-dimensional. You're either all good or you're all bad.
All good or all bad.
And if you're going to prove if you're actually going to prove, hey, look, I actually am a good guy. Can you take a look at that? The answer will be no. I can't, and I don't choose to because I'm holding on to this narrative. So there's something but really, I think in the end, if they did choose to be humble and say, let me take a look again because there is a person here, I think it feels better unbeknownst to them, and I think that would be like a very freeing experience for everybody.
You guys know obviously the concept of the straw man kind of way of looking at things.
I'm not familiar with that. Why am I?
Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's when someone tries to win an argument by attacking the weakest interpretation of someone else. It's like if you imagine putting up a straw man in a medieval village and just throwing tomatoes at it. Anyone can do that, right? Now,
of course,
the opposite of that is to steel man, where you give the other side the benefit of the doubt and you give them the most charitable interpretation of what they're saying, right? And then you try and knock down that argument, right? If you give them that bit of charity. And it's something I see going on all over YouTube, is this straw man technique.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. It's so good. It's such a great analogy. I do hear people say it, and I haven't heard it explained so thoroughly as you just did, Rabid Dog, but it's terrific. Doesn't it help us too if we kind of go, oh, I get what she meant. Like, I finally get it. I didn't understand that person. I saw her as a bad guy, and all of a sudden I'm looking around, I'm peeking around the corner, and I'm seeing that there's a method to her madness, and I can identify with this person. So yeah, it feels better. It feels I hate the word nice, but it feels nice. It does. It feels
cozy. They don't want to see our dimensions. They don't want to see anything else. And what really makes me mad about this us versus them thing is, oh my gosh, Dana, I don't know who your neighbor is, the lady you go out to, for lunch with or whatever. I don't know who she is. She might have, she might have killed bats, or so, I don't know, whatever. She might have been a bad person, or she might still do that. She might still be, hunting baby deers every day. I don't know. I don't know that. But I know that your neighbor Dorothy, is your friend. So in normal life, that's how it works. And then because they know one or two of our opinions, they claim us to be a bad guy. Whereas in real life, you don't know what all these friends of yours do. We have
no idea. For the most part. And also, my next door neighbor could be I don't know, could have a lot of hateful things in their lives that we don't agree with, but we can go out and have coffee and we can find something, we can actually enjoy that person, even if they really are very different. I wouldn't say evil. That's way too harsh. I don't believe that.
No.
People are, but I mean, seriously, they can belong to, have weird ideals. And
yes,
isn't it perfectly fine? It's kind of interesting. Well, so why are you interested in dissecting little, I'm being really creepy, but you get it, right? So so tell me about that. I want to know. Why do you hunt little baby deer? I don't get it. Let's
I want to know. I want to understand.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's, that's very different than saying, okay, you're just a killer. My neighbor is a killer because she hunts deer, whatever.
She hunts deer, and that's right. And so it's black and white. And now she's so we all understand that my neighbor is evil. You get it, guys? Because we're supposed to attack Dana's neighbor. Okay, got it. Because she's right. She's a hunter.
God, you don't have a neighbor named Dorothy who's a hunter.
Because I'm a valley girl. There's nobody hunting here where I live. I've got to tell you, in Los Angeles, California, right? I've never met one, but I'm sure they exist. So they're fine too. You can bring them up for Christmas dinner, and it's, by the way, the people you do bring to your home. Well, this Christmas is different because COVID, but we bring people into our homes and say, you're different than I am, and isn't that interesting? Let's get to know each other. Isn't life grand that we are so different and yet so the same, and we can figure it's fascinating.
It is fascinating, and we don't all have to agree. And again, there are one or two channels that exist that are not necessarily even bashing the Rusek family, but they're saying, okay, maybe Shanann did it, and that is just speculation. That is not hurting. I mean, it could be very hurtful to the family. I can understand that. Then I guess I just wouldn't look. That's what I would do. I wouldn't look because people are. Okay, I don't know who this person is. I think I've got. It's funny. It's like
that's our toilet. That's the toilet. That's so cute.
Honey, your mom's gonna ask you why you've been in the bathroom so long, and you might even overflow that toilet. So your dad will be mad too.
See, it's a little bit piece of audio there because it looped at the end there.
You think so?
I wonder if it is a kid. Could it be a kid? I mean,
it could be a kid. Yeah, it could be a kid.
I'd love them to just come on and say something, right?
Yeah, why can't you? I'm going to put the link up again. Why can't you guys just come up here, Mr. Toilet Flusher? I think it's a boy, young boy. Yeah,
listen, I think it's Rosemary. I think it's Rosemary the Crackler. I just do. I'm just call me crazy, but yeah. Rosemary the Crackler is really the toilet flusher all along. So everybody can go.
I can tell.
So got it? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. And they even labeled me as a meth head. Oh my God.
Oh well, we all know it. Come on, Tanya.
I know.
Spit out the truth.
I know. And only meth head that needs to drop 20 pounds that I've ever. Oh my God. But it's just it's crazy, and there is I don't believe there's such a thing as guilt by association unless you're associating with people who actually commit crimes every single day, and that's they run with a gang or whatever, and they're really
right, and you're using their services.
Yes, exactly. Right.
I mean, there are people who go to prisons. My brother's a psychiatrist. I have a lot of brothers. So one of them is a psychiatrist. And when his first many years of being a psychiatrist, he worked in prisons all around California. And so he'd call me on Sunday and say, I'm at prison. I'm working. So, I mean, he was helping them. He was diagnosing them, but it was an act of faith in his fellow man. I'm being totally serious, with hardcore criminals.
Sure.
So he is a forensic psychiatrist, and that's what he does. So does that mean that he's pro murder? No. Quite the opposite. But he's there to help people who've done very, very bad things, and can be stunning for many people, but he does it well. He's nothing like me. He's tall and dark hair and very quiet guy. I'm not. None of the above.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd love to pick your brains sometime, Dana, about the whole issue of whether Chris was a psychopath, sociopath, or just a covert narcissist, you know, that whole kind of thing. That's interesting.
Well, yeah, we definitely have to talk about that. I'm certain as to what he is, but that I'm also a very
really,
I'm a very egotistical person, so don't trust anything. No,
Oh, you're funny.
No, I'm goofing. There's no he's missing many noggins in his noggin. He doesn't.
Sure.
And so I mean, we could have many discussions on it, but yes, I do believe he's both. I believe that he's a psychopath. Psychopath and sociopath really are the same meaning. I'll tell you guys about that later. But in the sort of today's society, people have said one's born, and no, it's really antisocial personality disorder. Not seeing people as people, seeing them as objects. Other people, they don't have the capability of understanding compassion for anyone, or puppies, or anybody, even ladies. So we don't have compassion for other people. That's a psychopath. That's somebody who suffers with anti-personality disorder. It's never going to change. That doesn't mean they have to be killers or evil. Even they just don't feel bummed out when a puppy gets hit by a car. They just don't. They don't have that thing in them that most of us have. Like, oh no, that feels terrible. They don't have that. He's also a narcissist. So, and that's they're part of a spectrum in terms of personality disorder. So narcissists are a much lesser. They're not necessarily evil, but they can screw with you and really cause a lot of damage. But I mean, seriously, and we all have narcissism in us.
Yes.
But we don't all have.
I keep saying that.
We don't all have psychopathy. People don't. That's an anomaly. That's an extraordinary anomaly. So we can't. It's lizard-like. It's reptile-like. We don't get it. And guess what? We never really will, because it's beyond our. We have hearts. We have compassion. We're looking at a mother with babies, and pregnant mother who we got to know. Like, I know those kids' voices. I know Shanann's blinks. I know the way she talks with her hands and everything. So she's my friend, and I'm never going to see her in real life. He doesn't have that thing that goes ow that we all do. He doesn't have it. And I don't believe he was born with it. So if you're not born with it and have a propensity towards evil, you're not born with compassion and have it like, hey, this will work. I just got to move the objects out of. They're just objects. Just get rid of them.
So that would make him a psychopath, I think, rather than a sociopath. Isn't a sociopath taught to be or whatever as a victim of their surroundings?
I mean, not scientifically. There's
argument even professionally about those terms now, isn't there, Dana? From what
we don't use those terms, psychopath or sociopath. We use antisocial personality disorder, but really, psychopath, sociopath it's the same. But people very recently said a psychopath means this and a sociopath means that. That's a brand new way of thinking, and language does change, by the way. So it may be by the time we have a new DSM 6 or whatever, V2, I don't know, whatever they're going to come out with, or whatever, it doesn't matter. My point is the actual definition will be different, because language is constantly evolving. So, but as of now, no, there is no technical terminology for psychopath versus psychopath. The terminology
would you agree, Dana, as well, that all these terms that are used, professionally in those fields that I know you're in, that they're all essentially approximations or attempts to understand what the workings of the mind when it goes wrong, right? The whole DSM thing and everything. Because the brain, as everyone knows, the brain is literally the most complicated thing in the universe. Okay,
brain, right now, your brain, yours and mine, and everybody in here, Tanya, and everybody we're all using our brains to figure out our brains. So our brains are a mystery to our brains. They really are. There's incredibly complicated structures. And we do try to, the best of our ability, design sort of these labels so that we can fit certain categories to the best of our ability, so we can understand human nature. And we do get it wrong, but we still build upon that information. So we're just approximating all the time. And people are misdiagnosed all the time. And people who are not in the mental health field can certainly talk about any psychopathy, or they can talk about narcissism. But really, most people who talk about narcissism don't know what they're talking about. It's an entirely different beast than what I ever hear on YouTube. Most people, I'm being honest with you, it's a really, it's more subtle, and it's fascinating, but it's not like they're just a narcissist, you guys. Did you notice how like that's every I'm like, that's not how it works. And by the way, we all do behave narcissistically throughout our lives.
Yes,
sometimes.
Absolutely.
And when you were a toddler, you guys were big time narcissists, and so was I. And when you were a teenager, and then also sometimes in our adulthood, we go into this primitive zone of having to sort of feel this incredible need to protect the little bit of self that we have left. And so we become self-oriented, and we become narcissistic, and it's your phases. So it's very complex, but it's a great topic, and so I would love to.
It is, and one of my former enemies, I guess you would say, Jews of thought. Now, there's all reasons why things went sideways there, right? That
yes, she's
things
my
got messy. I like Jews of thought, right?
Yeah.
And I love her analysis, and she did a discussion on this whole subject a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
that was really interesting. Really interesting.
I've seen her in a long time. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, she's terrific, and she's very, very wise, and I agree with her on so much of what. She also has the same personality type that I do. We're both ENFPs, by the way, Myers-Briggs. I don't know if you guys know what your personality types are.
I am
but you have
too.
To get
wait a minute. You know what? Whenever I take, I'm either ENF. Wait. ENF. P or J. I've come off both ways for some reason.
Okay, so we're gonna figure you out, and and it's really good to find out what personality type you are with other people who are starting to get to know you, because sometimes the telling is in revealing yourselves. Now, it's very difficult to be objective, but I see, although I don't know you well enough, but I do see some ENFJ. I'm seeing you seem much more structured than I am. I'm just like, whatever comes by me, whatever today, I don't know. Maybe I'll put my pajamas on. Maybe I'll just whatever. But ENFPs are like that, very just go with the flow of and getting to know concepts all the time. ENFJs are more oriented towards not group think, but making sure that the people in the group are taken care of, making sure that listen, that the feelings matter in the group. This is an ENFJ personality. This is Myers-Briggs. Okay. I'm so throwing you guys off, but this is another great topic. Obviously, we're going to have to. You guys, we're never going to get rid of each other. Aren't we all in love with each other? This is the best group ever. I love it here. I really like. Yes, you guys are great. Oh my gosh.
This has been a great stream, Tanya.
Yeah, really definitely. I love my pan. You guys are awesome. We lost a few along the way, but I think they're all over on Mr. Cher's channel now. But yeah. And Natasha, do you want to jump in real quick before I go? I put the link up here, and I always love to have you on too.
True psych word. I love bomb too. Sorry, just had to say I'm a love bomber according to the people. She loved bombs, and then she's going to ruin you that down a little bit. That's right.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's so funny. And yeah, you're right, because am I correct though that you and Natasha would know, but isn't it only like 10% of the population will have a personality disorder? And certainly. Yeah, it can't be everyone who opposes a theory is a narcissist.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I mean, especially I have to say, as Americans, we're supposed to talk about, well, I feel this way, and let's talk about it. It's different than you do. It's really a good thing, because we can come to the best decision by talking about our differences. It's great. It's democracy at its finest.
It is. Right. And let's see here. Oh, this is a long one, so I'll put this up here. Old school psychiatrists don't accept the new DSM and believe it is a physical anomaly that causes someone like CW to wipe out his family with complications of harmful childhood parenting. But see, the thing is that Jamie Watts is a lovely person, a genuinely wonderful lady. And I don't, look what the Watts family turned out Jamie. Why would Chris be any different if he didn't have some sort of underlying thing that he had at birth? I don't think that they're not going to.
Of course,
they're not going to.
I don't know if you have siblings.
Yeah, exactly.
My brother, who's 18 months older than me, is a psychiatrist. He's quiet. He thinks before he speaks. What a concept. I don't do that. I talk. I just okay, right. So when we're very, very close, we came from the exact same
You're
parents.
thinking as you're speaking, Donna.
Yes, I all of a sudden come up with incredible epiphanies as the words are coming. Like, oh, I didn't even realize I thought that. So there it is. But I think that it's true. That's an ENFP for you. But very quickly, I do want to shoot you guys. I was going to say something. Oh my gosh, it was good, but I don't remember what it is. Keep talking. And I'm sure you have to go too, but I know. Chris Watts. Okay, but, just real quickly, just Chris Watts. I do the psychopathy idea, the thinking nowadays, by psychiatrists, by scientists, by neuroscientists, is that there is a genetic component and a nature component to psychopathy. And so if you're born with it's like you're born with blue eyes, then you're going to have blue eyes. So that's just, you have this physical component to your brain, or you're going to be good at something in your brain that you aren't otherwise if you're not born with a sort of left geared brain, left hemisphere. However, there's a nurturing component, and they don't know what it is, because psychopathy doesn't run in families. There's one in a very small, every once in a while, there's a psychopath, and we don't know why. Sure. And why did it happen? And what was missing in that childhood that the other siblings were able to garner from their parents that didn't? We just don't know. We're trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
That is fascinating, though, and I think that I think Watts is and was a covert narcissist. Am I correct? Do you think?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so is Scott Peterson. You look at him, go, oh, he's like the guy next door. Yeah. But you go, oh, but So in the end, the truth of them is there's nothing there. They're vacant vessels, and they feel that way. They feel they're so that's the narcissism in them, and the psychopathy is the killer. The psychopath kills.
Right. Like another human being is just an issue, stopping them getting from A to B.
You're in the way. I just have to get you out of my way.
Yeah.
There's somebody prettier than you, and you're pregnant. So
they don't even hate them.
No,
they don't even hate who the murderer. It's just a problem. The same way that a locked door would be a problem if they want to get into another place. It's just the same. They just have to smash the door down because they don't care either way, I guess. Well, that's my layman sort of analogy.
I love it. You guys are the best. I have to go pick up my boyfriend. That's why he called earlier. So
you're funny. Yeah, my daughter came in and wanted to know what was for dinner, and I have nothing cooked yet. But you guys are awesome, and thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh. And anytime I go live, I want you guys on my panel. You're awesome.
Same with me. I'm going to drag you by your earlobe next time. Tanya, I've already had Rabid Dog. He comes, but I'm going to get you. I'll tell you first.
Yeah, call me
get over here. I'm doing a also spontaneous live, which is because I went, oh, that's a good idea. Right here, right now. Yeah,
exactly. I'm glad you guys are here.
I love spontaneity.
All right, dear. Thank you so much. And thank you guys in chat. And everybody in chat, they're lovely. The people, the things they're saying are so kind. It makes such
so nice. Right.
Yes,
definitely.
Lovely.
Well, everybody have a good night, and I'll be back in a couple of days. Thank you again, Rabid Dog and Dana. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
That's okay. That's okay. Tana. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.